now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again.
Sports talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue Cool.
Our sports update deliverer. The Cool.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nasty Round.
Happy Monday, Nasties. Oh my goodness, we have a lot to talk about. Connor and Leon, not happy with the direction of your Edmonton Oilers. All the teams in the second round are set after a Game 7 victory by the Montreal Canadiens. And then, what a game between the Wild and the Avalanche. They're still scoring, Jay. My goodness. The Raptors eliminated. Blue Jays on the road today. We'll be able to update that one during the show. Interesting times in Toronto. We're going to have a very interesting part of their news conference today. So what is it? John Chake is the GM, and Matt Sundine is the special advisor or advisor?
Senior executive advisor.
Senior executive advisor. Advisor.
Advisor or advisor? I've seen dueling reports from Sportsnet.
Well, we like the nuances of language. So how do you spell it? I always thought advisor was ADVISOR.
Right. And on Sportsnet, they had a photo credit saying Matt Sundine as a senior executive advisor, ER of hockey ops. So I said, advisor, Reid. I've always thought it's advisor. And then I went and read the article, and they referred to him as advisor.
So on the Leafs on their website call him an advisor. OR.
Right.
That's how I've always seen it.
Yes.
OR. Anyway, what's his title? Senior executive advisor of hockey operations.
Yeah.
So is there an executive advisor, and then is there a junior advisor as well?
Well, there must be for you to have to specify it as senior.
Right.
Then there must be just an executive advisor. Right?
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah.
So maybe there are more announcements coming out of Toronto.
In his new role, Sundine will serve as a strategic advisor and provide support across hockey operations with a focus on team culture, player development, and leadership support. So to me, he'd be like one of those dads that he'll tie another kid's skates if it's close to game time. You know, sometimes there's that one kid that is there without his a parent, or maybe
he's the support advisor.
Like the parents, the coach or the assistant coach, and the dad can't tie. Like we're talking Mighty Mites. What are they called now? U7?
It's all you this.
Like there's no more Mighty Mites or Novice or Tom Thumb or Mites or anything like that.
I don't believe so.
I would say when I played my first couple of years of hockey, I don't think I tied my own skates. Would that be common? At what point do you start tying your own skates if you're playing minor hockey? Because you got even if you can tie them, you got to have.
I never played minor hockey.
You got to be able to pull them tight.
Like 11 or 12 at least.
That's what I think Matt Sundine is doing.
He's the support
He's
advisor.
the support guy, and that could include.
Yeah.
I don't know why I remember this. Like I was probably 7 or 8, and my dad will laugh that I even remember this. But you know how like when you're a little kid, just some things stick with you.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was talking, I think, to a teacher on his staff. Like I must have been there after school with Dad or something, or leaving with him or something, and maybe going to hockey practice. And there was this other younger teacher there who didn't have any kids at the time. And my dad said, "We're looking for an assistant coach, like if you want to come out and help out." And the guy said, "Well, what would I do?" And my dad's like, "Tie skates, wipe noses, whatever." which let's face it, when the kids are 5, 6, 7, that's probably part of your responsibilities.
Probably.
Yeah. Did you teach a new breakout today? Well, no, Timmy had a real runny nose, and it was getting a little nasty. It's a little too much going in the mouth, so I had to pull him aside and take his cage off and try to get some of that, get those boogers off the upper chin, off the upper lip, I should say. Maybe that's Matt Sundine's job.
What was the technical definition that is this off of the Leafs site?
This is off the Leafs site. In his new role, Sundine will serve as a strategic advisor and provide support across hockey operations with a focus on team culture, player development, and leadership support. So he kind of has one of those jobs. It's like, what do I need to do to help us win today?
Well, that's my buddy Sickler just texted me. He's like, Matt Sundine, senior executive glue guy.
I guess, yeah, he's a bit of a glue guy.
He's the glue guy with a title, with the senior in front of it. But there was nothing else to talk about from that press conference today, was there?
Oh, there was a little bit. So here is I know Hernan played it, but we got to get it on this show as well. This is Steve Simmons. Who's Steve with again?
Toronto Sun.
Toronto Sun. Mm-hmm. We've had him on the show. I always forget which paper he's with. Well, I think he says it in the clip actually because we left the whole thing in.
Steve Simmons, Toronto Sun, for Keith. You talk about the due diligence that you did on John prior to hiring him and now hiring him. In the past, say, 3 to 4 days, I have been in contact with about 20 people who work in the National Hockey League, many of whom are prominent names that we would all know. And of the 20 people I spoke to, one was supportive of John's hiring, and the other 19 thought it was a sham, to be perfectly honest. Words were used like con artist, liar, salesman. How did you come to a different conclusion than I was able to come to in a very short time?
I must have talked to different people.
That's it? Because I'm telling you, the hockey world today is astounded by this announcement.
Okay.
And your response to that?
Is we've conducted due diligence, and it was deep due diligence. It was a thorough process, and I'm quite happy with where we've landed.
Okay, so that was the president and CEO of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, Keith Pelly, on the other end of that question. That was something. Steve went in there firing. Now, sometimes we talk about this. We'll get my reaction to something because I've been there asking questions.
Sure.
I mean, good for Steve. I was surprised he used some of the words that he used. Having said that, I mean, this is a team that has generally not been very good for a very long time, or who has come up soft in big moments for a very long time, if they can even get to the big moments. And this is a surprising hire. I was a little surprised he used the words liar and sham. I mean, I don't think there's any... Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying I'm surprised he used them. I don't think I myself would be comfortable being quite that blunt in a question. I mean, but certainly him saying that it's astounding. I mean, if I were doing it, because Jacob was fired from his previous job, right? Suspended and punished. Like I might say something like, John didn't leave his last job under exactly the greatest circumstances. He hasn't been employed since. Why is now the time for the Leafs to hire him? That's probably what I would do. But I mean, good for Steve.
Well, I thought,
but I mean, but the thing is, you're probably not going to get much of an answer from him asking it that way either, from Pelly.
Yeah, I didn't think that you would get the most out of or from Keith Pelly in phrasing that question that way. And I thought the most interesting part was that the new general manager, John Chayka, was sitting right there.
Oh, yeah. He's got to hear all that.
Just having to take it all in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess, yeah, Reid, is that a breath of fresh air? Would the Toronto nation fans look at Mr. Simmons now and say, well, you're our hero? Because often you're trying to phrase things not necessarily to get something off your chest, but you want to try get an answer. And I just don't think that question would breed much of an answer other than
we did our diligence. We talked to different people. I thought it was funny how Pelly says we did our due diligence, and then later says we did our deep due diligence. Oh, okay. Well, now that's okay. Just due
But
diligence wasn't enough.
Where does the line cross, Reid, from asking, and I'm asking sincerely because I don't have enough time in this industry to try and formulate an answer myself, but that question sounded almost like an angry fan or something that an angry fan would ask. Where's the line between trying to ask a question that'll get you a proper remark that you can take to the Toronto Sun, and you know what
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, again, if I ask a blunt question, I still try to ask it in a way that's going to get a substantive answer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Steve Simmons has been doing this a long time. I think he's quite good at his job. We've had him on the show. I interviewed him on Inside Sports a few times. So I think with him, maybe it hits a little differently.
Okay.
Because
he's got the tenure to be able to say that.
Right.
And I'm not...
He's covered
don't get
the
me
Leafs.
wrong.
He's covered the Leafs for a long time.
Hand up. I love the question.
Yeah, so did I.
Because it's holding somebody accountable for their actions. I love it. I'm just one... And okay, like he's been around long enough. He's been around this team long enough that he can ask the hard-hitting questions that maybe everybody's thinking but don't quite have enough tenure to be able to ask. Okay.
Well, and he's backing it up by saying, I've talked to my contacts around the National Hockey League.
Sure.
I mean, again, it's different him doing it than if it was a 23-year-old with 8 months experience.
Yep.
I mean, if Simmons says that, he's got the credibility that he probably did talk to 20 people, if not more, probably did get that feedback, right, and is comfortable saying that. So, yeah, I didn't mind it. I mean, I think he's right. This is sort of a surprising hire. Smitty the Welder in the Nasty Chat says, nice to see the media not beat around the bush for once. Yeah, Smitty the Welder, big fan of... well, let's face it, he's directing that at me. He's not directing that at the media. He's directing that at me for some reason. Congratulations, Smitty. Scotty Nose says, will he get to keep his press pass? Yes, he will.
Oh, they would not revoke that.
That would look terrible
because
if
that
they
would be,
took his press pass away. Yeah.
That would be worse than the situation in Vancouver where they removed a member of the media mid-game.
Right.
For something that he or she, I forget who it was, had written about the ownership group.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple real press, it's been a real media press conference weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're going to get to some of the key Leon and Connor comments from Saturday. I was on Hello Hockey while some of that was happening. Yeah, we'll get into that throughout the course of the show. Well, give me your quick 20 to 30 seconds on it.
I mean, I don't know. It was not. Well, it's I guess honest reaction from the team's two superstars. I mean, that's what everybody I believe was the biggest takeaway is that Connor and Leon said some things. They said, we need to be better, and it starts with us. The whole team needs to be better. And I think they were also saying that the support system around there needs to be better. Everything needs to be better. And then I thought Stan Bowman came on, Reid. And, I mean, this is very close to the end of the season.
Yeah.
So maybe Stan Bowman did this on purpose, and probably did. Stan Bowman didn't really say much.
No, he didn't. He talked a lot.
He didn't
say much.
It was 32 minutes of time that he was on the podium. I don't think he said much. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt in saying, okay, maybe that's because you haven't talked to the right people yet, and you haven't had those discussions. So kind of much ado about nothing with him. But I thought for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, I mean, Leon Draisaitl probably had the comment of the weekend or from that about Connor McDavid and how much time he has left here at Edmonton, and that they better make damn sure that it's well spent.
Yeah, it's too bad in hindsight, but we didn't know what Connor and Leon were going to say that. And the way this all developed I was talking about it on Friday. I mean, we didn't, at first, I think it was going to be the players Saturday and then Stan and Kris on Monday, today. And then they said, no, Bowman and Knoblauch are going to go Saturday. It would have been interesting to get, it would have been interesting to have the players before Bowman. Because then the first question to Bowman is, Leon and Connor just said, this whole organization took a step back, including management, and they don't seem to feel great about this team being closer at a Stanley Cup. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I bet you there's a reason they did it that way.
Right.
Right? Yeah, but I don't know. Lots of. We'll discuss this throughout the show, I know. But yeah, there's
a lot to get to. I didn't mind the bluntness from those two guys.
Yeah.
I don't think. Well, okay, we'll get into that.
We'll get to it, sure.
A lot of ways to communicate with us. I mentioned the nasty chat. That's the chat stream going on our YouTube page. Tango says, Steve Simmons blocked me on Twitter because I criticize his work. He is soft. I criticize Speck all the time, and he doesn't block me. Okay, well, like I was saying, people can run their Twitter account however they want.
Mm-hmm.
Duck Dad says, why does Reid keep on doing the Bond villain voice? I spoke with 20 reputable people and only one spoke fondly of it. The other 19 used words like traitorous, backstabber, evil, criminal. They can't possibly be talking about me, Mr. Bond. Stealth Legend says, Reid and Jay, what are the chances Knoblauch and Bowman are still with the team come the season starting? Well, we'll talk about that. I don't know if I'm going to put an exact number on it. So that's the YouTube stream. Subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk if you haven't done so already. We did see a nice little uptick in subscriptions last week, so if you're not subscribed, please do so. And remember, for this program, give us a like, click the thumbs up.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
Maybe you're listening on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. Those are excellent audio streaming apps. Thanks for getting us there. Put us down as a favorite or a preset or whatever they have. You can text us 780-218-9999. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Don't forget about the Tap 25 Happy Hour, $5.25 drinks. All beers, including bottled, draft, import, domestic, select premium well highballs, and select premium wine served at Tap 25 Center Bar, Onyx, and on the casino floor. That's available Sunday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com, Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. So a lot of ways to get in touch. All right, we got to get to your afternoon headlines. They are presented by 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Stream them on iHeart today. This is Chet Palmer with your sports report. The Habs only needed 9 shots to knock off the Bolts. 9 shots? Sounds like my brother-in-law getting greased up for a night at the craps table. Golden Tempo won the Kentucky Derby. Golden Tempo? Hey, Jason Milne, is that a pendulum in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? 15 goals last night between the Wild Boys and the Mountain Men. I saw so many red lights, it reminded me of my trip to Amsterdam. Well, it's time for me to Van Gogh. I'm Chet Palmer.
Oh, Chet. I don't know why, but the 9 shots sounds like my brother-in-law getting greased up for a night. I don't know. I'm sorry, Chet Palmer's brother-in-law. That made me laugh. A Golden Tempo. Who would have picked Golden Tempo?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out over the course of the show. Maybe even coming up in a little bit.
A pendulum. What are they called, Reid? What's the name of that unit that usually sits on top of a piano?
Oh,
and it sets the pace.
Is it a metronome? A
Yeah,
metronome.
metronome.
I guess I could have used that too.
Well, no, pendulum.
Pendulum works better.
Works
for
better.
what might be in your pocket.
And Chet is getting, well, I'll just say it. Chet's getting increasingly awkward.
I think he maybe always was awkward. You're just getting him to know a little.
Yeah,
know him a little better.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe that was a little too far.
So we will break down what was said over the weekend, give our thoughts on it. We want to hear from you. Again, 780-218-9999. Text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We do have a section or two set aside mainly for audience feedback today. We will have Marty Biron on the show in about 20 minutes. Of course, you see him on TSN, covers the Sabres for MSG Network. They're getting ready for their big second-round series against the Montreal Canadiens. We will make our second-round picks, and I know a couple of series have already started, but we texted each other to make the picks.
They've got the receipts.
And we'll look at how we did in the first round as well. We always have our off-topic topic. It's presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. it is Star Wars Day, May the 4th. So our off-topic topic would be to make a slight change to a Star Wars quote to make it about the Edmonton Oilers. Flying through the playoffs ain't like dust and crops, Leon. Fly through the Ducks, bounce too close to the Golden Knights. That would end your trip real fast, wouldn't it?
What is that from?
So in the movie, Luke tries to touch something while they're in hyperspace.
Oh, okay.
And Han Solo says, flying through hyperspace ain't like dust and crops, boy. Fly through a star, bounce too close to a supernova. That would end your trip real quick, wouldn't it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was good.
Thank you. Every once in a while.
Well, it's May the Force be with you. So I just thought I'd extend it a bit and say, may the no movement clauses be with you.
That's very good.
Just simplify. And one of the quotes that comes up, I think it kind of set the tone for the overall series was, I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, you don't have to change that.
... And I was going to say, I could say, well, I have a bad feeling about this. That's it alone.
Yes.
But from Toronto, you could say, I have a bad feeling about this Cheka hiring. I mean, there's different ways you can go.
Yeah, you
can
spin
go
it
out
a lot
of
of
market.
different ways with I have a bad feeling of this. That's good. That's very good. So that is our off-topic topic for William Huff. Make a slight change or two to a Star Wars quote to make it about the Edmonton Oilers.
I like this.
You can also post in the nasty chat. Email reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com. Jay's play of the day is coming up. Are you going to be looking at the playoff games tonight?
You
a little bit of the teaser there. Marty Biron in about 18 minutes, and we will get fired up for Jemko when we get back. Here's Zachary Kubish.
The deuce in the NHL tonight. Hurricanes Flyers battle 5 o'clock. Philly looking to bounce back from a 3-0 loss in Game 1 of their series. After that, the Ducks Golden Knights meet for the first time in the playoffs round 2. Game 1, puck drop 7:30. William Karlsson of the Knights making a return to the lineup. He's back from a lower body injury that's kept him out since November 8th. In other news, the Mavericks have hired former Raptors executive Masai Ujiri as the team's president and alternate governor to the hardwood. Game 1 between the Knicks 76ers, 6 o'clock tip-off. We also have the Timberwolves and Spurs going at it. 7:30 start, kicking off their second round series. Anthony Edwards expected to make a return for Minnie. He missed the final 2 games of their series against the Nuggets. From the 6 Jays, Rays open a 3-game series. It's Eric Lauer to the bump for Toronto. First pitch at 4:40. Elsewhere, Detroit's Tariq Skubal is set to undergo surgery on his pitching elbow to remove loose bodies, having no timeline on his return. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they have plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. The show rolls on following the break here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
Stan Bowman should re-sign Connor Ingram for sure this summer, hired or fired.
Looking at the market, and unless there's
not a sexy market,
you're looking for a trade for something, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want Connor Ingram. In my mind, Connor Ingram could go out on the market and easily look at a $5-6 million.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
We have what you're looking for. GD Liquidators is Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items since 1987. You'll find what you want when you want it. Give us a call, visit us in-store, or check out the monthly auctions at gdliquidators.com. 100% Canadian-owned and operated. We have what you are looking for. GD Liquidators.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said great job. Happy hour. Your boss said per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery. All in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Draft lottery tomorrow, eh? Can't wait to see it. We had a absolute blast watching the draft lottery live during the show.
We
last
should
week.
just do our whole show tomorrow. Maybe it can become a draft lottery tradition where we just do miniature draft after miniature draft, and we use we get some partners involved, get some GCs or giveaways, and we just get a big drum of balls.
Just go nuts.
Just spin the balls all day. We're just here for spinning balls.
Yeah, we could do something like that.
Yeah, you're right. Go nuts.
That'll be huge.
Yeah.
Give us a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. We want to get to at least 100 every show. Really, our ultimate goal is to get to 100 but we'll start with 100. We're already at 46, so if you've not yet clicked the like button, click the thumbs up, and let's see how high we can climb today. A lot to talk about as the Oilers held their end-of-season media availabilities on Saturday, and some very key comments from Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. McDavid commented on the team's poor penalty kill.
The best penalty kills are on their toes. They are reading off each other. They're aggressive. And I just thought at times we would get a little stale, a little stagnant. And, when you're standing still, it becomes very, very difficult to kill penalties that way. So I think we got to find a way to just be on our toes a little bit more and a little bit more connected.
Well, yeah, there wasn't a great PK. Clearly crushing in the first round loss to the Anaheim Ducks. You look at 2024, what were they for the whole playoffs? -3 while they were shorthanded, because they scored shorthanded goals along the way as well. Maybe even better than that. So, yeah, one of many things we'll talk about over the course of this show and over the course of the offseason, I'm sure, as the Oilers, in my mind, have a lot of work to do to get back to being a Stanley Cup contending caliber team. Marty Biron coming up in about 10 minutes to talk about the Oilers, about the Canadians, about the Sabres. He's in Buffalo. We've talked to him about the Sabres before, so it's got to be just party time there. They knocked off Boston. They're going to host the second round starting on Wednesday against the Montreal Canadiens. We're also going to get fired up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. The authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces, whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. Well, I had a fun little weekend. Part of it anyway.
What happened?
Well, I watched the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, what a race.
So we had Frank Fontana on the show on Friday. He gave us some betting tips. He made nice packages for us, prepared some stuff. And then I'm reading some stuff during the day on Saturday. So I go over to my mom and dad's, and there's this betting account. It's called HPI Bet. So I knew I had some money in there. I haven't used it, well, probably since last year. So I log into it. I'm like, I have $12.80. Okay, great. So I made 4 $2 wagers. My mom decided to make 2 $2 wagers. My dad declined. He just watched the race as a spectator. So I happened to place a $2 bet to win on number 19.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
That was the winner.
Golden Tempo.
Golden Tempo.
How about that? So I started the day with $12.80 in my account. I ended it with $49. I will take that.
24-1?
23-1.
23-1.
Yeah, it paid $48.20 for some. I thought it went off at 23-1, but it paid $48.20.
Wow.
So I am quite happy.
How'd you settle on Golden Tempo? What in the reading
I don't
did?
remember entirely, but I read some stuff. I looked at Frank's stuff, and I saw somewhere that some site had Golden Tempo as the 4th or 5th favorite, and said just watch out for some late speed. This horse could come out of nowhere and take it.
You don't say.
And then I thought, that's interesting. Try to be the first female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby. So it's like, $2 to win, bit of a long shot. Why not?
Sherry Deveau.
Yeah. And then I'm watching the race, and clearly Golden Tempo was nowhere to be found. So you didn't hear the announcer say it a lot. And, you're watching along the bottom where they have the list of the numbers. And I had some other bets as well. And then it comes down to the end, and I hear Renegade, right? Because that was number 1.
Yes, Renegade was the favorite.
Renegade, Golden Tempo. And I'm like, Golden Tempo? 19, that's me. That's me.
That's incredible.
There it was.
Well, because Golden Tempo at one point was last.
Yeah, we rewatched the race a couple times today.
And the route. But Reid, this is not foreign at the Kentucky Derby. Because it's a long race this is the longest race that any of these horses have raced at that time.
Right.
So if your jockey's coming out and trying to win the race in the first half of the race or the first 3/4 mile, that's not going to work out usually well. Last year's winner, it was similar where they had to come through the whole pack and make a run for it at the end. But yeah, that was a fantastic finish. And to see the overhead view, because they do a good job of it, NBC, coming around, and you saw Golden Tempo picking his way through the field. And jockey Jose Ortiz, first-time winner at the Kentucky Derby, 32 years old. You know who the jockey of Renegade was?
Who?
His brother, Irad Ortiz.
Okay.
So they finished 1-2, but we were looking at that and watching it because there was a chance there where Golden Tempo could have come inside.
Yeah.
And probably would have been a faster path, but chose to go outside. And I said it to you, I wonder if it's because he knew that his brother was the jockey and his brother was going to squeeze down to the rail.
Right.
Because it turned out to be the right move. But that's such a well-orchestrated, I guess, live sporting event. Probably one of the best.
Yeah.
They really build it up.
What year did you go there again?
Oh, Reid. It was supposed to be our 10-year anniversary, which would have been 2017, but we didn't go. It was like 2019.
So quite recently you went.
The 44th running of the Kentucky Derby. What was this one? Do you know?
Was it 152?
Or sorry, 144th. So yeah. 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, you went in 18 or 19.
Something like that. Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm fired up. I actually got a nice little payoff.
Except, like I've said before, like Churchill Downs from the TV perspective is majestic,
right?
Regal, beautifully manicured. It is a dump. It is a dump. Like, honestly, it is embarrassingly dreadful underneath that shiny white cover.
Oh,
it is bad, man. And you're paying $19 US for a hot dog.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So thankfully, this was prior to my time here at EST, but I've always been able to talk, Reid, if you can believe that. So I was able to talk our way into a private area of the inside of the racetrack that allowed us to be fed and watered all day for free.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Yeah, you'd go broke. You had to stay there all day.
Yeah.
And try to eat and have a couple bevies.
7802-1-899-99 River Cree Resort and Casino Inbox. Marty Biron coming up in 5 minutes. let's get to a couple off-topic topic submissions for William Huff. Change a Star Wars quote to make it about the Oilers.
Bone says, "Live long and prosper." Reid.
Okay, that's really good. That's really good.
I love that. That's good. You got it. Like, there's people that are just tuning in now, and they're like, "What an idiot!"
Yeah,
that's from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Well, we it's been a running gag here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Well done, Bones. Nature Boy says, "Oilers fan to the Oilers, I love you." And the Oilers, I know.
That's pretty good.
That is quite
Doesn't
fitting.
even need to change it. Just who's delivering it. Justin Hammy in the Nasty Chat says, "Help us, John Cooper. You're our only hope." That's excellent.
It's funny how the names get thrown around. We'll talk about our feelings about that later. VR Montenegro says, "That's not a well-run organization. That's a tire fire." Now, forgive me, I don't know.
So that one's quite changed. So that's when they're flying towards the Death Star, and one of them says, we're going towards that small moon or something. And Obi-Wan Kenobi says, "That's no moon. That's a space station."
Okay. Well done. Kyle says, "Help me, nuclear option. You're my only strategy."
Oh, jeez.
It's been quote by Knoblauch.
Yeah.
Brindle's Darth Vader's message to Oilers fans.
Okay.
"I find your lack of faith disturbing."
That's very good. So they're not even changing the quote. They're just changing the context.
The
for
meaning
some
of
them.
it, yeah.
That's very good. Are you struggling with this? How many times have you seen the Star Wars films?
Well, I think I've seen like the original. But
Okay.
they're not the number 1, 2, and 3, right? Aren't they 4, 5, and 6?
4, 5, and 6, yeah.
Yeah, so I've seen
Star
those.
Wars is the original Star Wars.
I've seen those enough. I've seen those
Okay.
a handful of times.
Okay, good.
But I have not seen any of 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
What is that? The Phantom
Prequel
of the
trilogy.
the Phantom of the Menace?
The Phantom of the Opera Menace.
I haven't seen Phantom of the Menace. Mike the Michigan fan says, is Coop the Corgi going to be entered in the Corgi race this summer at Century Mile?
We can only hope.
Like, how do I do that? Mike, Michigan fan.
Yeah.
You
Somebody from Century Mile, let us know how Coop the Corgi can race.
You do the legwork. Send me the email, and I promise you, unless we're out of town, because our kids run our lives with sports right now, I will do my best at least to get Coop the Corgi. Can you imagine? Like, you'd have to come too.
Yeah.
All
right. We got Marty Biron standing by. Quick sports update, and then we're back to talk Sabres, Canadians, and of course a bit about the Oilers too.
Pair of games in the NHL tonight. Hurricanes Flyers battle at 5 o'clock. Philly looking to bounce back from a 3-0 loss in Game 1. After that, the Ducks Golden Knights meet for the first time in the postseason. Round 2, Game 1, puck drop 7:30. William Karlsson of the Knights making a return to the lineup. He's been out since November 8th with a lower body injury. In other news, the Mavericks have hired former Raptors executive Masai Ujiri as their team president and alternate governor to the hardwood. Game 1, Knicks 76ers goes at 6 o'clock. We also have the Timberwolves and Spurs tipping off 7:30, kicking off their second round series. Anthony Edwards expected to return from Minnie. He missed the final 2 games of their first round series against the Nuggets. From the 6, Jays Rays open a 3-game series. Toronto 3rd in the AL East, 6-18 on the year. Tampa Bay 2nd in the division, 21-12 record for them. Toronto's Eric Lauer to the bump, first pitch at 4:40. And Detroit's Tariq Skubal is set to undergo surgery on his pitching elbow to remove loose bodies. He has no timeline on his current return. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the break with Marty Biron.
The oil stream. The contrast and messaging from Kris Knoblauch compared to the messaging from Stan Bowman. And then you get Leon and Connor and their comments, and you mix that all together. And I was like, what did we say the day Paul Coffey was brought back?
That looked dysfunctional.
And I didn't think it would come to light this way.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The Blue Jays are back, and Canada is excited to cheer them on in their 50th season. Whether you're swinging for the fences at the ballpark or stepping up to the plate with those spring projects at home, Sentinel Storage can help you make room for all of it. From tools and bikes to boxes and seasonal gear, Sentinel Storage gives you the extra space you need all season long. Try 4 weeks free today. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details. Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's go Blue Jays!
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Goodwill is
one shopper, finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket, a deal, one donor, letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant,
learning,
trying,
building skills,
building confidence,
building a future.
One purchase, one donation, one job,
one choice.
Goodwill is
the power of one, the power of one, the power of one, the power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Playoffs don't care what day it is, and neither does the Canadian Brewhouse. Monday, we're packed. Wednesday, electric. Saturday, don't even ask. The Canadian Brewhouse is here for every game, every round, every minute of overtime. From puck drop to final buzzer, we are in this with you. Book your table, find your people, get loud. Don't miss out. Every game feels like a Saturday. This is our house, the Canadian Brewhouse.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation. With options for every style and budget, open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
All right, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. We are going to go straight to the Oil Country Towing video hotline. Oil Country Towing, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team, fast, safe, and reliable for over 15 years. Whether it's a game day or a snowstorm, we work as hard as your favorite team to get you going. We're not going to have any more Oilers game days for a while. Also, hopefully no more snowstorms for a while. Late April had both of those. Call 780-986-6088 for all your towing needs. We love to cover this guy. You see him on TSN. Of course, he also covers the Sabres with MSG Network. It is Marty Biron checking in. Marty, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you guys doing?
Good. I think you might have caught the tail end before the commercial. Yes, we do often talk about Jay's special dog, Coop the Corgi.
Coop the Corgi. I love that.
Are there any canines in your life? I don't know if I've ever asked you about this.
There's 4. There's 4 canines, 3 cats, 6 chickens, 2 horses. There's a lot of animals in my life. So
we're the same guy. I've got the goat, the chickens. We just got more chicks. I've got 3 cats, 4 dogs, 5.5 for. I always say and a half because we've got a miniature donkey as well.
Oh yeah, well, see, that's a half. Yeah, I got my dog was actually like walking around somewhere in here. She's a 14-year-old toy poodle. She's like sits on my lap. She's tiny little 10-pounder, maybe not even. And she throws a fit when I'm not around. Then there's a couple of bulldogs, with the kids or whatever. One's got a slip disc in his back, and his legs are like kind of wompy in the back, but he's doing fine. And then my daughter just got a new Australian Shepherd, so it's busy.
Oh, that's awesome. He unfortunately he passed during the Stanley Cup final last year. I had a poodle who lived just past the age of 19.
Wow.
And was pretty good until right near the end, Marty. So hopefully
So
the
you know how
14-year-old.
smart those poodles are.
Oh,
My
yes.
toy poodle, she is like she literally, if she senses that I'm around in the house, she will find me. If I'm not there, she goes sleep somewhere. But I'm like, she's attached to my hip.
That's awesome. Yeah, poodles are smart. Like apparently they can learn like 250 words where they kind of know what you're talking about. Anyway,
but they don't know the word no. No is not.
Well,
in
I think they're
vocabulary.
choosing. I think they're choosing to ignore it, Marty. I think they know
Possibly.
it. Yes,
possibly.
They have selective hearing. All right, good having you on the show. But what an exciting time in Buffalo. What's it like there?
Oh, it's crazy. It's fun. It's, you talk about snowstorms in April and whatever. We had snow in game one. The fans were outside. And when Tage Thompson scored 2 goals to make that comeback against Boston, game one, there was flakes coming down. It's warming up now, but the building is electric. I always felt like Buffalo is a special place in the playoffs. The fans get into it. It's not like 2-3 fans waving the white towel. It's 19,000 all in unison. And now they play Montreal, which is another amazing building in the National Hockey League. So that the intensity, the emotions, the energy is going to be crazy in that series. But it's been a lot of fun in Buffalo. First in 15 years, they've been waiting a long time.
I feel like I saw more earlier in the series of Boston Buffalo than later. Just sometimes how they lined up with Oilers games or other stuff. And I know Buffalo was favored. But was there a point in that series, and maybe it was early, I don't know, where you really thought, my goodness, like Buffalo is better. Like they got this unless something weird happens.
Game 4. Game 3 and 4 in Boston build that. Because game 1, Boston was better. It was an 8-minute, maybe not even 6-minute push at the end of the third period that put Buffalo on top, and they won. Game 2, they did not look good, but Boston was playing 1987 hockey where they were holding and clutching and grabbing. And then you know how it works. A team's going to complain to the series supervisor, the official, and then they're like, hey, you know what? Yeah, you got to. And I think in game 3 and 4, Boston, even though Buffalo's power play was terrible, Boston took penalties. It slowed their rhythm. Buffalo got much faster. Game 5 was an overtime. Like, I think this series could have been done in 5 overtime where Pasternak gets a breakaway. And then game 6, like Buffalo won all 3 games in Boston. That's a good sign for a team to go in Boston, the second best home team in the league, and beat him 3 times. Like, I think game 3 and 4 showed that.
Okay, so they're going to face the Montreal Canadiens. I'm actually going to ask you a question about a Tampa Bay player before we talk more about the Habs because you played goal. Vasilevsky didn't face a shot in the second period. I think the guys on Hockey Night Canada said, like, in terms of real time, like it was up around 40 minutes. I didn't go through all your game logs, but I imagine you had some quiet periods. What's it like as a goalie where it's like, oh my God, like I've had nothing to stop for a long time?
So it's funny because, even now I would say, only 1 shot or no shots in a period. It must be hard for the goalie. And then I go back and I'm like, why am I saying that? It's not. Like, you find other ways to stay in the game, to stay engaged. You stop the puck, you play the puck. There's shot attempts. There's, and really, the odds of getting a score if you don't give up a goal are 0. And so as a goalie, I'm like, if you can only allow 3 shots on goal, I'm good with it. So I think it's a fun storyline. 9 shots in the whole game, right? And you look at the 2 goals. One is a deflection by Suzuki, goes off his own defenseman in the end. The other one's a swipe on from the goal line that hits him in the side and goes in. Like, it's not like he was bad. Some people are saying, sometimes you get only 12 shots and you're out of rhythm, out of sync. Vasilevsky wasn't. He found a way to stay in the game. It's just, Tampa and their top guys couldn't get any offense going.
Marty Biron joining us here on the Oil Country Towing video hotline. Marty, before the playoffs kick off, Reid and I give our guaranteed to be correct predictions for the Stanley Cup playoffs. I should let you know, I chose Buffalo to go all the way and win the Stanley Cup. And I did that because I thought the way they came together in the second half of the season was just, they were reaching juggernaut status, and they continued to play that way in round 1 against Boston. But the Montreal Canadiens are a different animal. How do you see this series going, and what does Buffalo have to do to make it to the Eastern Final?
I've covered Buffalo, obviously, all the games, but I've also covered the Montreal Canadiens with French radio and RDS, which I have, at the top of the hour and stuff like that, which, I know what the Canadiens are about. And all season, I'm like, they're not that good of a team. They're not that good of a roster. They only have Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky. But somehow they find ways. They found ways with Dobesh. They found ways with, Hudson and Madison and Gooley. And all of a sudden you got Anderson and Gallagher scoring. Montreal Canadiens find ways. That's how dangerous they can be. That's what they were able to do against Tampa. Now, the depth of the Canadiens was the difference against Tampa. I didn't think Tampa had depth at forward. They didn't really have a good back end. Buffalo's a different animal. Buffalo, after the Thompson line, you got the McLeod line, you got the Norris line, you got Dahlin, Byram, Power, Samuelson. Like, it's not Tampa Bay. So I feel like Buffalo's got an advantage, although the lines at Vegas right now are the Montreal Canadiens a slight favorite in the series. Like, very, very, very slight margin. But I'm surprised by that. I thought Buffalo was going to be the favorite team.
Okay, before we let you go, and thanks for reminding us you got your thing at the top of the hour. I mean, we got to get your views on the Oilers. I mean, we've obviously dissected it a lot as it was going on, and then certainly Friday after. Anaheim outright beat them. Anaheim was outright the better team. Leon and Connor both come out on Saturday and basically say this is not a good direction right now. We need to turn it around, which I would agree with. We're going to dive into more of the specifics in the final 2 hours of the show. I mean, you watch them very closely as well. You always have a keen eye on things. I'll let you kind of, if you want to take it to the on ice or just what you think about Leon and Connor coming out and being, that blunt about where the team is at.
Well, obviously, I mean, the certain players in the National Hockey League are big. Like, I'm not saying they're bigger than the organization, but they're about as close as it can be. And Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl have that status, right? Whatever they say, people are going to listen. I thought they were honest and brutally honest. And that has to be a bit of a wake-up call, and an honest wake-up call for the Edmonton Oilers. When they traded for Tristan Jarry, I remember saying this is an F of grading the trade. That's an F. I got all kinds of crap on social media, and I'm not here to say I was right, but you added to their problems in that. Like, you've got 2 more years of Tristan Jarry. Now you got Connor Ingram, who's pretty good late in the season, but is this the direction you want to go? Jarry, Ingram again next year? There's going to be goalies available. I really feel there's going to be goalies available. But do you have the flexibility? They have the cap space. They got $16 million in cap space. They have to replace 8 unrestricted free agents. Like, people are going to say, oh, $16 million is a lot. No, $35 million is a lot. There's plenty of team with $30 million in cap space. Why? Because the cap's going up. But the Oilers don't have that much, and they got to replace a ton of players. I think they're in a very, very, very tough spot moving forward.
Yeah, I can't argue with you. I mean, like, we're going to dive into it. I'll tell you a secret, Marty. We're going to probably spend about 4.5 months diving into it here on
I did that for 15 years with Buffalo, so I enjoy it for the next 4 months.
That's a good point. Well, I also did. I did work the tail end of the 10 years here for Edmonton.
Yeah, so, exactly.
We both
know how it works.
It's a lot more fun with that. Like, I remember when the Oilers got back in 17 and won a round. Like, it was just incredible. Okay, I know you got to go. We love having you. You're always so generous with your time. I might try to bug you maybe during the Cup final or something because we love talking to you so much. Enjoy the evening. Enjoy the second round and say hi to all the dogs and animals, okay?
I will say hi to all my dogs and animals and make sure that next time maybe they appear on the show. How about that?
Oh, that'd be fine. That'd be fine.
Yeah, we'd love it.
Awesome stuff. That is Marty Biron.
Thank you, guys.
The Oil Country Towing video hotline. He's such a great guest. Very to the point, very analytical. And I did not realize he had that roster of animals in his life.
No, that's fantastic.
I thought he probably had a dog or a cat or something. Didn't he? You got horses. What else did he say?
Chickens.
Chickens, right.
Chickens, cats.
Maybe there were chickens roaming around the house.
Maybe.
It'd be great if all of a sudden he picks up like, hey, it's Louie.
Yeah.
Or whoever.
I got home last week and I called my wife, as I always do on the way home, Reid.
Yeah.
Say, hey, how's it going? Good. And she says, I'm just going to
make sure it's okay. You can come home.
Yeah, make sure I'm accepted still. Make sure the locks haven't been changed. All that normal stuff. And she says, yeah, I'm just going to get diesel. And then I'm like, okay, it's 20 after 6. What are you?
Right.
You need to go rush out and get diesel. Well, it was all a ruse, Reid. When I got home, I couldn't find anybody. So I went out. I went over to my mom's house, and it was just my oldest daughter there. She says, hey, I think they're in the barn. I'm like, oh, gosh, what's going on? Is everything okay?
Okay.
So I walk over to the barn, and here there's 4 hens. Like, they're not chicks, but they're probably like a month old.
Okay.
Hens that my wife had acquired.
Oh, so that's where she was going.
That's where she was going.
It was diesel
It was
hens.
a surprise. It was a surprise.
You were surprised. Were you pleasantly surprised?
Yeah, I love eggs.
Were you like, yeah, I'm taking these hens down to a walk by the pond.
Yeah, no, that would not go over well. I can't. I'll have to find. I'll text her the breed, but they're beautiful little hens, and they're like, I don't know. They've been around humans. You can tell because the girls were able to pick them up. I even picked one up. It was a horrific experience, but no. Now we've got more hens.
All right, well, that's perfect.
It's perfect. They lay eggs. You know.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Yes, that's no yoke.
The amount that my daughter bakes, any egg production near us would be great.
Okay, 780-218-9999 is how you text us. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Good stuff there from Marty Biron. And we will do our round 2 predictions later. We're not sure. Probably between 5 and 6. Well, we kind of know, but the show tends to change.
Where did I write it in?
I put it at 5:20.
5:20,
Yeah,
sure.
we'll do it around there. And what's interesting is Montreal and Buffalo are playing each other. I took the Canadians to win the Stanley Cup before the playoffs, and as Jay mentioned, he took the Sabres. So
this is for all the marbles.
From a show perspective, at least one of us will have our cup pick in the league semifinals, in the conference finals.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's nice. We won't be sitting here with like, everybody we picked is already eliminated.
Well, if you looked at the first round, you'd think I sucked.
No,
we could have been tied as of last night.
It's hard to pick. We're in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Arena energy, but no tickets required. Catch all the hockey playoff action live at the Canadian Brewhouse this playoff season. The Canadian Brewhouse, our house, is your arena. The wing flavor of the month for May. I got to get out there and try this because I love the April one. For May, it's jalapeno poblano. Roasted jalapeno poblano. And I still love the gyoza. Like, they're on the menu. There's a lot of good stuff on the menu, but I just love the gyoza.
Gyoza is great.
Yeah, and if you order, I mean, if you're sharing, you can get gyoza as part of the sharing. I really think you could just have gyoza yourself. There's enough there that'd be a nice little meal.
There's veggies in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a full balanced meal, Reid.
Justin Hammy in the Nasty Chat says, that's not a pylon. That's Darnell Nurse's contract. Change a Star Wars quote to make it about the Oilers is our off-topic topic. Caster says, the average Oiler fan to Bowman, I loathe you. Bowman replies with a smirk. I know. Oh, my goodness.
Jeremy says, the more defense you play, the more goals that will slip through your goalies.
Oh, the more you tighten your grip, the more star systems will slip through your fingers. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Reid. Jason in Leduc says some Yoda quotes that are good for this. The greatest teacher failure is. You must unlearn what you have learned, always in motion. The future is. What's Yoda's, what does he sound like?
Why? Away, put your weapon. I can't really do it.
The greatest teacher failure is.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Something like that.
Old Gil says, did they just take a bus between cities? What's he talking about? Buff Munch? No, they'll fly. They would fly.
Dave in Section T says, Reid slumps into a chair during Saturday's press conference. I sense a disturbance in the force, as if 2 million Oilers fans shouted out in terror and were suddenly silenced.
That's really good. That is really good. Okay, we do have, we picked some of the key, I mean, I know most of you have probably heard most of it, but we picked some of the key things from what McDavid and Draisaitl said that we kind of want to react to or emphasize. Yes, some of it is about the direction of the team. Some of it is about how they played this season, and quite frankly, relates to some of the issues Jay and or I had about how they were playing. That's pretty telling, I think, that the players recognize it. Jay's play of the day is coming up as well. Here's the 4 o'clock break.
The Lock Shop.
For an analytics guy, this is the take. Beware with John Chayka and everything that we're being sold on this. Because if he really was a true analytics genius, he, a long time ago, would have moved the bacon mushroom melt to a full-time part of the menu, as opposed to not just something that they use to prop up sales after the holidays.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Worksite ready, Western tough. Lamley's Workwear is calling all tradespeople, oil and gas crews, construction workers, farmers, and hard-working Canadians. Built for the job with quality craftsmanship, job site protection, and cowboy-worthy durability. Trusted brands like Airy at Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed for performance and all-day comfort on the toughest sites. No matter the season, Lamley's has the workwear you need. Shop the full range now at lamleys.com/work.
LAMMLES.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Two games in the NHL. Hurricanes Flyers battle at 5 o'clock. Philly looking to bounce back from a 3-0 loss they suffered in Game 1. After that, the Ducks Golden Knights meet for the first time in the playoffs. Round 2, Game 1 puck drop at 7:30. William Karlsson of the Golden Knights making a return to the lineup. He's been out since November 8th with a lower body injury. In other news, the Mavericks have hired former Raptors executive Masai Ujiri as their team president and alternate governor. And in action tonight, Game 1, Knicks 76ers at 6 o'clock. We also have the Timberwolves and Spurs tipping off at 7:30, kicking off their second round series. Anthony Edwards expected to return for Minnie after missing the final 2 games of their first round series against the Nuggets. Meanwhile, the Jays-Rays open a 3-game series. Eric Lauer to the bump for Toronto. First pitch at 4:40, and right now, bottom second. It's the Mets and Rockies scoreless. Warming up, Red Sox are about to battle the Tigers. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. Hour 2 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. We're going to go over some of the key comments from Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl that were made on Saturday as select players and the head coach and the GM conducted their year-end media availabilities. I was down there at Rogers Place for that. Also, I was on Hello Hockey with Belzy and Gazzola. That's always fun. They're still plowing away with that, eh? Every Saturday, 10 to noon here on EST.
Sure are.
I think they go to mid-July.
Something like that.
A lot of good stuff there. And right now, Jason Milne has his play of the day.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
And it is presented by Play Alberta. Turn up the fun with the Play Alberta app, your digital destination for casino, live dealers, lottery, instants, and of course, sports betting. You can do it right on your phone or your tablet. PlayAlberta.ca also works very well.
Well, Reid, what did you think of the first game between Carolina and Philadelphia?
I watched most of it. I kind of didn't follow through intently until the end because it appeared quite lopsided in favor of the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to continue today. I don't necessarily think the series is over by any stretch because it hasn't went back to Philly yet.
Right.
So who knows what response they get. But it was domination from Carolina.
Yeah.
So I took Carolina Hurricanes -1.5, so to win by 2 or more goals. And the Anaheim Ducks, game 1 tonight.
Okay.
Against the Golden Knights, Anaheim Ducks +1.5. Okay, so they can lose by 1.
Okay.
If that game were to go to overtime and Carolina was to win by 2, that bet cashes.
Okay.
All right, because I think Anaheim has got some momentum. I mean, they just knocked off a pretty big team in the Oilers. I think they're going to have some moxie going into Vegas. So Carolina Hurricanes -1.5, Anaheim Ducks +1.5. I've had some good luck with these +1.5 plays. That has been boosted to +255. Okay, so head on over to playalberta.ca, click on sports, click on EST specials, and you'll see Jay's play of the day amongst others. And if you haven't yet, download the Play Alberta app. And Reid, always remember to use your game sense.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
All right, presented by Play Alberta. So, yeah, Bowman came out and spoke first on Saturday. I'm going to be honest with you, everybody. We're not running any clips from Bowman. I mean, this is all 2 days old. But Jay and I kind of felt that the most worthwhile stuff to talk about was from Connor and Leon. I know Dickinson spoke, as always. He's well-spoken, and Captain and Ingram were up there. Knoblauch answered some questions. There wasn't anything from the coach or the GM I thought overly groundbreaking.
Correct.
Certainly Knoblauch revealed a little bit more about the injuries to Dickinson and McDavid. Bowman seems to think that they can get better, that there's not going to be major overhauls to the roster. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see how that works.
Well, he didn't reference major overhaul in any instance.
He wouldn't even commit to Knoblauch being back. He just said we got to evaluate everything. He just didn't say he's going to be back. So, I mean, this could be an interesting week, depending on how things go. But Leon and Connor came out and made some very pointed comments. I think in some ways some refreshing comments. And I think in some ways, dare I say, damning comments, Jay? Because there's certainly things that you and I talked about during the season where now I think you and I feel as if, see?
Yeah.
They weren't saying it at the time, but see now what happened, which we'll get into. This is all part of the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. So, let's start with... I had an idea, now I'm changing my mind on the fly.
Ooh, I like it.
But Connor McDavid was asked, do you see a path to the Oilers being cup contenders once again?
I do see a path, but it's going to take everybody to be better, it's weird to talk about development for veterans, but, us veterans need to find a way to get better and develop, and everybody does, because that's the only way it's going to change.
All right. Fair comment. I think they're.
That's not that's not simply referring to the players, though.
No.
I mean, he takes it back there.
Right.
But I think that was a more broad statement by Connor McDavid. And I believe as we continue on through these clips, if you just think of it as Connor McDavid talking to everybody in the organization.
Yes.
Not simply his teammates.
Well, and here's one of the key clips. McDavid on, them taking a step back.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's only a couple days ago I made those comments. So obviously feel the same as I did a couple days ago, and agree with Leon that the organization as a whole is taking a step back, and that starts with me. Starts with Leon. We all can be better, and we all need to be better.
All right. And that's, Draisaitl came out and said that as well, that this was a step back. He kind of lumped everybody in there. He even kind of expanded on that comment he made after that loss to the Flames, where he says, I wasn't attacking a coach. He goes, yes, I mentioned the coaches, but I mentioned everybody else as well. So it's this whole feeling that there's disappointing performances at all levels of the organization, I guess, with Connor and Leon saying those things. Let me ask you this. How do you feel just in general about them being that blunt about it? Like, would have you preferred, okay, that's something you can tell Bowman or Jackson or even Daryl Cates if they talk to him?
No.
You're fine with it?
Yes. Yeah. This is their way of telling them.
Right.
Because they're pissed off. They don't feel that enough has been provided around them. And the more I think about it, Reid, the more I think this points to, although I don't agree with it, is Knoblauch probably being one of the first dominoes to fall. Unfortunately, I don't agree with it because I don't think, I know that Kris Knoblauch wasn't responsible for the construction of this roster, for the trades that happened throughout the year.
Right.
Or lack thereof. But I just don't know if you can go into the next season and say, no, I think, we got all the pieces in place. We just need to be better.
Right.
I just don't think, given Connor McDavid's situation, you got 2 years left of Connor. And I heard them talking this morning on the Hangout. Is that more like 1 year? Whereas if you don't show a positive trajectory next year, if you continue to decline, how does that look going into the final year of Connor's contract?
Right. Leon Draisaitl was asked, how much does McDavid's contract, the 2 years on it, because the new one's going to kick in right away, how much does the time on McDavid's contract shape the future of the team?
A lot. I mean, in what world do you have the best player in the world on your team and you're not looking to win? Or you're like, and I know we're looking to win, but we need to be better. We have to be better. There's no way around it. We have to improve. And he's signed for 2 more years, and God knows where that goes. But we have 2 years here right now. As of right now, we have 2 years, and we have to get significantly better.
Well, right. Building a team around McDavid, you can't assume that he's going to stay beyond the 2 years. You really can't. I mean, if he, as you said, who knows? A year from now, we could be talking about the possibility of asking him to remove his no trade, or him saying that he's very unhappy with the direction of the team and he doesn't seem interested in signing. But I also want to say this: every team that has won the Stanley Cup has done it without Connor McDavid on the roster. No, I know many teams have done it with a superstar or two on the roster, but I think that the failure in building a sufficient team is something we'd be talking about even if you didn't have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the roster. Stan Bowman has made some questionable trades, given out some questionable contracts, and sort of downgraded the overall quality of the team. That would, to me, that's what's, well, there are several things that's concerning, but how hard is it to get out of this? And is Bowman the guy to get out of it? Or who can get the orders out of it by making a couple of shrewd moves? It appears to me that he isn't the guy. Now, can the new guy, the new guy can't come in and wave a magic wand and lower salary cap hits or length of contracts, But I'm wondering what Bowman is going to do. I mean, he said, well, there are a lot of ways to improve, including players coming up internally. Well, who's coming up internally that's going to be a game changer? Who?
A game changer?
Yeah.
I don't see anybody yet.
I mean, Quinn Hudson, Ike Howard. I mean, Szymanski's fine, but there are better versions of Szymanski around the NHL. He was a nice ad.
I think that's something you have to say, though, Reid. And okay, you've then got to look at the track record of Stan Bowman. And I understand bringing in Connor Murphy and Jason Dickinson, but those are free agents.
Right.
Those are UFAs coming up.
Yeah.
And then you brought in Tristan Jarry, which was the one that really, I think, irks Oilers fans the most.
Yeah.
Because there's term attached to that.
Right.
And I'm not sure that this team has the confidence in Tristan Jarry that you need to have in a number one netminder.
Right.
So then what do you do? Are you going to have two goalies making $5 million each on your roster? I don't know. Right? Now, Stan Bowman wasn't here for the Nurse contract.
No.
But that's something that's being discussed a lot.
Yeah.
Because this is the last year of, after next season, Darnell Nurse then has a 10-team no trade clause that kicks in.
Right.
So is this one of those things that we've talked about and we've had other people from around the league come in and say these conversations happen in the summer, not in the heat of the battle?
Right.
Is that something where you can try and do that? But here's the thing, Reid. You get rid of Darnell Nurse. It's like when the housing market's hot. You're like, oh, let's sell our house. We could make $300,000 in equity. Okay, but you got to turn around and buy another house in the same market.
Yeah.
Does that solve your problems? Like, I'm sorry, Darnell Nurse is not the reason this team, Darnell Nurse and Darnell Nurse solely, is not the reason this team didn't get to where they want to be this year.
Right.
This is a much bigger issue. And you're right. You look at guys like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and they said it, they need to be better.
And we want to talk about that because they said some very interesting things. John in the nasty chat says, listen, Reid, real talk. Put it in all caps. He really wants me to pay attention. Connor also said, I want to win in Edmonton again. Why is no one mentioning that? Well, I'm going to tell you something, John. I have that clip because I wanted to mention it. So let's get to it. I actually left it in as part of a back and forth with Post Media's, well, not like a argumentative back and forth, but like the questions from Rob Tychkowski with Connor's answers. So here's that.
If we can sort of agree that the team is farther away from a Stanley Cup today than it was 2 years ago, where are you guys? Where are you on the scale, patience and frustration?
There's no doubt everybody knows what we're trying to do here in Edmonton. It's no secret. We're pressing pretty hard, so the patience is obviously worn pretty thin.
The narrative out there, and this is everybody else saying it, not you, is that if this team isn't knocking on the door or winning a cup in 2 years, you're out of here. Is there anything to that?
I want to win, and I want to win here in Edmonton. That's my focus.
All right. So to me, Connor didn't want to say much about that. He has a 2-year contract, and he says he wants to win in Edmonton. That's my focus. To reply to John, he didn't make any promise beyond the length of his contract. He didn't say Edmonton's the only place I'm going to play. He didn't say I can't wait to sign a longer-term deal. He said he wants to win in Edmonton, and that's his focus because that's where he is now. So I guess I would say to John, I mean, we mentioned the clip. He said, I want to win in Edmonton, which is great to hear, but I don't take that as him saying I would never consider going and playing anywhere else. Because if he felt that way, he would have signed an 8-year extension that he could have signed, or 7, whatever the max is now. That's how I look at that. I think that's just a fact. He says, I want to win in Edmonton. That's my focus. Well, he's an Oiler now, so of course he's going to say that. If he had a 1-year contract with St. Louis, he'd say, I want to win in St. Louis in that year. Then we'll see what he does. That's how I read into that, John.
Yeah, but even still, if you want to go back to that extension, Reid, why would Connor sign long-term? As the cap's increasing, why would you do that? Do a shorter-term deal, and then, yeah, by then, what's the cap supposed to be at? 100 and mid-teens?
Yeah, it's going way up.
It's going way up. So guess what, Connor? You can sign a bigger contract and then decide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking financially, there was reasons for him to sign a shorter-term deal. But by all accounts, the pressure is now building. So you can't simply run it back. Right, Reid?
The same team? I don't think so.
The majority of it. Or the same people behind the bench, even the same management team.
John has replied. He says, he sounds committed, brother. Let's just take a breath. Let the boys go on the lake, have a few wobbly pops, and we are going to come back absolutely buzzing next year. Let's go Oilers. First of all, I want to say something here to John here. I have never fanned the flames of Connor McDavid leaving Edmonton.
Sure.
I have talked about it as a possibility if he's not under contract. Okay? I have never been one of these people where it's like, oh, he doesn't want to be here. I've had to listen to that crap from people and other media since the minute the Oilers won the draft lottery. Okay? I was working on Ched and we did a draft lottery special that night. And we wound up going for like 2 hours. And right from the start, texting in, calling in, reading tweets from other cities. Look at his body language. He doesn't want to go there. He won't go. And then his entry-level contract came out. It's like, well, he won't stay beyond his entry-level contract. And then they made the playoffs, and then they missed the playoffs. He's going to want to leave. And now this happens. He's going to want to leave. All I can tell you, that all I'm saying is, John, he's signed for 2 years. There are no guarantees beyond that. If you believe he's going to stay beyond that, I think that's great, and I think it's very possible he could stay beyond that. I'm not saying he's going to leave. I'm just saying that there are no guarantees, okay? And quite frankly, I get tired of the Toronto national people like, well, he wants out of Edmonton. Well, Edmonton, the Oilers have let him down. The Oilers are screwing over McDavid. You know, there's plenty of other really big-name players who haven't won a Stanley Cup or haven't done very well. One of them actually plays for a team that made a big announcement today. So that's all I'm saying, John. I'm not ignoring what he said. I'm just saying that, he gave that answer, and he's signed for 2 years, and this is where he wants to win right now because he's under contract right now. Okay? So that's how I look at that. Quite frankly, I get quite tired of the McDavid wants out, because it's just, if you keep making a prediction, eventually you'll be correct, right? Like all the people who have said, one day McDavid won't play for the Oilers. Yes, that's true. There will come a time when the Edmonton Oilers roster does not include Connor McDavid. There are a few ways by which that could happen. One of which is he plays 22 years with the Oilers and then retires. Then one day he won't be an Oiler. And then all those people can say, see, Reid, I told you his body language at the draft lottery. He didn't want to play there. So I don't buy into that. But if I'm just saying to John, if we're looking at all the possibilities, it is possible this is his last season or two with the Oilers. And if he comes out and blatantly says not very happy with the direction of the franchise, and including himself in that, I do think we have to talk about it. That's all. But John wrote back. I understand what you're saying, John. I'm not trying to argue with you either. I'm trying to turn this into a bigger picture discussion as well, that I just get tired of all the, well, he wants to be a Maple Leaf. No, he doesn't. If he wanted to be a Maple Leaf, he would be an unrestricted free agent right now and would be talking about being a Maple Leaf or whatever.
And Reid, don't forget, there are tactics involved here by all parties. Do you think Leon Draisaitl doesn't want to make this team better? Of course he does.
Yeah.
Do you think he doesn't want to feed into the rhetoric that this is it? Well, we got 2 years of Connor, the best player in the world. You're damn right. It's a shame we don't have a better team around him. Of course he wants that, because what's good for Connor is good for Leon.
Well, and that's really the thing. And that's the crux of this, I think. I think going into this season, a lot of us had the feeling like, okay, this team might not be as good. Maybe they'll be a step back so there can be 2 steps forward. I don't see the 2 steps forward with this roster and some of the performances and some of the gambles that the GM took, quite frankly. And I think it was Elliot Friedman that said it. It's a first round exit. Dallas has a first round exit. There's no doubt who's a better team because sometimes you have to look at who you lost to, not where you were eliminated. You know, like I've been saying it all along. I respect to the Ducks. They played a hell of a series. I think they're kind of a mediocre team. And they, in some aspects, beat the crap out of the Edmonton Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't look good for the Oilers being on the brink of something. That looks more like they might not get in next year, to me. All right, 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Tap 25 has the $21.99 prime rib special. What a deal. Available 7 days a week, except show nights, 11:30 in the morning to 11 at night. It's available for dine-in and take out the $21.99 prime rib special. We're going to get to some comments here from McDavid and Draisaitl about perhaps a lack of intensity in the regular season, which is something Jay and I discussed quite a bit. Keep sending in your text, 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We kind of wanted to get to a bunch of those a little bit later on in the show. Here comes the Coop.
The Elks have signed 5 of their draft picks from last week's CFL draft, including 10th overall pick Darian Newell and former Golden Bears Carter Kettle and Matthew Udine. Elks training camp officially opens on Sunday. A deuce in the NHL tonight. Hurricanes Flyers battle 5 o'clock. Philly looking to bounce back from a 3-0 loss in Game 1 to Carolina. After that, the Ducks Golden Knights hit the ice for their first game in the playoffs, round 2. Game 1 puck drop at 7:30. William Karlsson making a return from a long absence. He's been out since November 8th for the Golden Knights with a lower body injury. And the second round of NBA playoffs begins tonight. New York Philly starts things off, 6 o'clock tip-off. Later on, the Timberwolves and Spurs hit the court, 7:30. Minnesota's Anthony Edwards expected to return after he missed the past 2 games. In baseball, Toronto, Tampa meet for the first of 3 total games in their series, battling for the first time this season. Eric Lauer gets a start for the Jays' first pitch at 4:40. With a pair of games live right now in the majors, bottom 4th, runless between the Mets and Rockies. The Red Sox and Tigers in that same situation heading into the second inning. This sports update is brought to you by Say the Reid Sport Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at saythereidsportmed.ca to book an appointment today. The Oilers conversation continues here on the Reid Wilkins Show following the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Darren Dreger. It would have been easy, and even to a point almost expected, for Daryl Cates and the henchmen to come out a couple of days after and go, okay, we are not satisfied, and it's going to cost this person his job. Whether that's Knoblauch, Bowman, whether it's somebody else, it's a collection of people, don't know. Instead, they're still trying to digest. It's a tough one.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings, 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great. At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret, unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Good day, bad day, either way. Happy hour is on at the Canadian Brewhouse Monday to Saturday, 2 to 6 p.m. with deals starting at $3.99. The Canadian Brewhouse, your day just got happier. This is the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Pat Ketty from the Canadian Brewhouse, big partner here at Edmonton Sports Talk. They still got you covered with all your playoff fun, even though the Oilers are out. So, yeah, please check out the Canadian Brewhouse. He's Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. This is Edmonton Sports Talk. Our show, 3 to 6 p.m. every weekday afternoon. We're live and local, 6 a.m., 6 p.m. every weekday. We also have additional programming for pre- and post-game shows for the Elks and the Oilers. Of course, the Oilers are out, but still a lot of talk about their offseason. We'll still have you covered on all the NHL playoff series that are going on. More and more CFL talk as we move along. Stingers are starting this weekend.
Saturday.
The Collegiate Riverhawks are playing. We've had one of their players on. The Riverhawks, the big team, whatever you call them, the senior team, starts, May 29th, so later this month. So there's always a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fun to be had on this show. We do try to make you smile along the way as well.
Well, at the end of the day, we're talking about sports. Sports aren't always fun for fans.
No, it's tough. I mean, I understand Oilers fans are upset.
But we try and lighten the mood. Dave the Welder, Reid.
Yep.
On the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999, says, my guess is Leon and McDavid have had that conversation with Stan and Jackson, Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson already, and now they're going public with it because nothing has been done.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know for sure.
Hard to speculate.
Yeah, we don't know for sure, but that's a fair remark. Let's get into buying or selling for Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find the right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. So let's get to this stuff. First of all, Leon Draisaitl saying they have to defend better.
And I take myself right to the top of that. I wasn't necessarily happy with the way I defended all season or the details in my game. I feel like they slipped away from me a little bit, and that's certainly something that, I really want to focus on. Those things are hard to focus on in the summer. The summer skates, they're summer skates, but when I'm coming back here, and I think that should be our focus for next season, at least to start the year, that those little details, they go a long way. And I can only speak for myself, but I do think that it slipped into a group a little bit that I got away from us a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think that was one of the themes throughout the season, certainly continued into the playoffs. And, Stan Bowman said this on Saturday, and it's something you and I talk about a lot, Jay. There's the defending in your own end, and then there are the turnovers. Bowman even referenced one of the plays that you and I have talked about. What was it, when it was 3-3 and early in the third period of game 3, and they turned the puck over twice right inside their own blue line for 2-on-1s within a minute and go behind and can't catch up. I mean, I understand that that's going to be frustrating for a lot of fans to hear, because that sounds like Leon Draisaitl after year 4 in the NHL, and now he's saying it after year 11 or 12 or whatever he's at. And it's certainly going to raise the debate, how much of this is on the players to commit, how much is this on the coaching staff to get them to commit or make them play a certain way. All worthwhile discussions. Leon Draisaitl asked about or commenting on kind of regular season lessons learned.
You need to build over the stretch of regular season, certain moments of games, certain moments of seasons, how to handle those. And I don't think we did a good job of that in the regular season. Like, we all know the stats with the 3 games, but there's many games where, maybe we ended up winning the game, but it's not the right way of winning the game. And I think you learn those things as a group throughout the season, how to go on a 6-game winning streak, right? Or how to go on a 3-game winning streak, how to win games 3-1. And I think we kind of lost track a little bit of, how to do it properly.
I think that's a good point, Jay. And he mentioned the lack of a long winning streak, or even, lack of even 3-gamers. And that's something we talked about. And he said in another clip as well, it's not that we don't take the regular season seriously enough. If an athlete's going out to play, he's trying the hardest, but maybe they didn't put enough attention into the regular season. And they didn't have those moments that they had built that they could draw on when they got into games in the postseason. Connor McDavid talking a little bit too about he has some stuff to say about he was asked, do you need to, can the team show a little frustration? But he was asked in the context of teams like the Panthers and the Lightning that have been really good teams. Like, they'll go out and get in a scrum or play a little angry or ticked off sometimes.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad thing. I thought we were a little bit emotionless at times. Everybody wants to be calm and whatever, but, it's fine to our room talks a lot about frustration, and, you can't get frustrated, but it's part of the business, unfortunately. Guys get frustrated. We're grown men that want to win and achieve something, and sometimes that emotion's okay,
All right, so a little bit emotionless. And I think, Jay, okay, I know you're ready to go here. I'll let you talk. Sorry.
No. I just, tell me about it. Emotionless. That was a lot of Oilers hockey. And Reid, we talked about it throughout the regular season. Scoring a goal and no celebration, or damn near close to none.
Yeah.
And are you excited to be on the ice? Are you excited to have scored a goal?
Right.
And it says, Connor McDavid said that, we talk about in the locker room how you can't get frustrated. Well,
doesn't mean you can't get intense.
That's a big difference with showing a bit of gumption on the ice and finishing a body check and doing your job. And Reid, I would say, yeah, you can get frustrated. You can, as long as you can get that frustration out in a positive way that'll help your team.
Right.
AKA punishing the other team. I'm not surprised that he, the emotionless Oilers, that comes as no surprise to anybody that's watched this team for this year.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. And then talked about it in the locker room. Can't get frustrated. I find that disturbing. I find that very disturbing that was even said.
Well, how come? Like, I don't have a problem with guys saying,
you're playing at the pinnacle, the height of the best in the best hockey league in the world, and you're saying, "Okay, guys, keep your emotions reserved." No,
I think he's saying they talk about not getting frustrated.
Frustration is an emotion, but it comes with sports.
But it has led to them at times not playing intensely enough. Like, I think it's one thing to say, I think it's fine to say, don't get frustrated. That shot didn't go in. That check didn't work. Let's believe in it or adjust to it. To me, that's frustration. But going out and hitting somebody really hard or getting in a scrum in front of one of the two nets, I think that's fine, personally. So I don't mind that.
But that's how you vent your frustrations, Reid. To me.
Okay.
I would say, go ahead. If you want to be frustrated, you're frustrated because of yourself and the way you've played.
Right.
If you want to take that out on defenseman number 1 or defenseman number 2 in a way that's going to help your team, then be frustrated. That's how you get better, you're allowed to be frustrated. It's not like you just have to try and put on this straight face the whole time. I don't think that's productive. Now, I know that you're saying that this is different. We're referring to the word frustration in maybe different manners.
But yeah, I'm referring to frustration like almost getting pouty or giving up.
Yeah, but if you miss a shot or if you miss a check, I'm okay with saying be frustrated about it, but make sure you get it back.
But channel the energy in the appropriate way.
Use it.
Give us the thumbs up.
But wait, that would be emotion.
That would be emotion. Give us a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube, by the way. Subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk if you haven't already. We want to get to 100 thumbs. We're kind of stuck around 70. Maybe that's a good thing. People are intently listening and posting in the nasty chat, which there's a lot of posting. But give us a thumbs up on YouTube if you haven't already. I just thought it was interesting that there were, especially by Leon, these references to that. And he said, look, maybe some of it is human. We've been successful in the playoffs last year. You overlook the regular season a little bit. But that was the whole story of the regular season. We were sitting here thinking, well, okay, maybe they're not that great, but shouldn't they be better? Or there's another missed opportunity. And what clip, I know I'm sorry, guys, I keep going back to this. What sums it up? What clip sums it up the most?
If you say so.
Kasperi Kapanen. They go 4-4 on an 8-game homestand. 500 at home isn't good unless you're an expansion team. Then you're thrilled. Or you were last place the year before. Then you're making progress. Not if you're the Edmonton Oilers. Going 4-4 on an 8-game homestand where, let's remember, they kind of stole 2 games with late goals and in overtime. That wasn't very good. That was a chance to maybe finish higher up in the division. I mean, they benefited from being in this division all year. So that was... Remember, Kapanen was asked about that. Did you leave some points on the table here?
If you say so.
That sums up the attitude the team had. We'll be fine when the playoffs come around. We know what to do when the playoffs come around. These regular season games, it's only just to make sure we get enough points to get in. And then I think that's one thing that burnt them in the postseason. And it's not just about the whole flipping a switch thing or whether or not you've done it before. They weren't prepared to do it because they hadn't been thinking about doing it during the regular season. Okay, so Hernan Salas, he ran a half marathon?
I've heard.
So he's going to run another half marathon. He doesn't stop training because he did it once. He's not going to show up to the start line with you in August and say, I didn't run all year. I don't have to because I ran a half marathon already. He still has to keep putting the work in. He doesn't necessarily run a half marathon as part of his training. And I do think in the regular season, you can't treat those games like playoff games, but there have to be moments, and this is kind of like what Leon said, where you have to win the right way. You have to at least build a foundation where you can say, you can get into a series with the Ducks and you can say, hey, remember that stretch in February and March where we checked or we went into wherever and won a game 2-0, or where we played this great offensive team and we won 3-1. They didn't establish that. And to me, they're admitting that they didn't take the regular season seriously enough.
That's deep. Comparing this to marathon or half marathon training, I really like that. It makes it seem, okay, I get what you're saying. Because that was the problem with this team. I mean, that clip you showed, Reid.
Right.
I don't know. Does it sum up the attitude of this team? It's kind of like, well, sure. And I don't think they realized it maybe before it was too late. I'm sure Leon Draisaitl, right? Leading into the Olympic break.
Right.
Went off on that.
Which was good. He finally did.
Right.
Right.
And he's echoing the same thoughts here. That's why, Reid, I just think in a market where something's got to change, because, okay, you're talking about defensive play.
Yeah.
You're talking about, we just talked about this frustration thing. That all comes from conversations within the locker room or at practice.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying if you're looking and you're pointing to somebody or something that's probably going to change here, I would imagine it's the coaching staff. Because everything I'm hearing here, if you think of it in the lens of that Kris Knoblauch's not going to be back because of this, and this. But do you think changing the coaching staff, Reid, buying or selling?
I think something has to be changed.
But do you think that's
I think Knoblauch needs more experienced help. I don't think that's Paul Coffey. I don't think that's McFarland. Maybe McFarland can stay. I think they need more experienced help. And again, even though I criticize Knoblauch, I still think he's a good coach. I think he didn't have a lot to work with as much as other years.
Well, like I've said, I don't think it's the right thing to do.
To me, taking another, it'd be way more risky to take another season with Bowman than another season with Knoblauch. Way more, in my mind.
But is that likely to happen?
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't even know who's going to make the decision.
Well, that's the thing.
Is Jackson going to make the decision? Is Cates going to have to make the decision?
Well, and then who's around Daryl Cates? Who's
Paul Coffey?
So who is lobbying with him about these major decisions that need to happen with this team? Who's in his ear?
Yeah.
Like, it would almost be better to go to like an arbitration style where there's somebody that is not involved with this team, that has just look at the record, look at what they've done on and off the ice, and judge everybody's jobs without feeling or emotion. That would be fantastic, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Make your bets count for you and everyone else with the Play Alberta app, with hundreds of player prop bets on the biggest leagues: NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, you name it. You're not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. PlayAlberta.ca, the Play Alberta app. 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We're going to get to plenty of your input. Jay has an exciting announcement that he just found out about. We'll tell you what that is. Here comes the Coop.
The Elks have signed 5 of their draft picks from last year's CFL draft, including 10th overall pick Darian Newell and former Golden Bears Carter Kettle and Matthew Udine. Elks training camp officially begins on Sunday. A deuce in the NHL tonight. Hurricanes Flyers battle at 5 o'clock. Philly looking to bounce back from a 3-0 loss in Game 1. Later on, the Ducks Golden Knights meet for the first time in the postseason. Round 2, Game 1. Puck drop 7:30. William Karlsson of the Knights making a return from a lower body injury that's kept him sidelined since November 8th. And second round action, NBA playoffs begins tonight. New York, Philly starts things off 6 o'clock. Later on, the Timberwolves Spurs hit the court 7:30. Minnesota's Anthony Edwards expected to return after missing the past 2 games. And in baseball, Toronto, Tampa meeting for the first of 3 total games in their series. Eric Lauer on the bump, currently bottom first inning in a runless game. Fresh outs there for the Rays. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. From custom homes to small renovations, Edmonton's top builders and contractors rely on Paramount Flooring. Their in-house team handles everything from selections to completion, keeping projects on track and on time. Visit their showroom open 7 days a week or find them at ParamountFlooring.ca. More with Reid and Jay on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
The EST Hangout.
It's not 2 years they have 1 year.
It's this year coming up.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because what do you do with McDavid, and how do you handle a McDavid going into a final year of his deal again? Do you play a year where if he doesn't sign, there's a lot of questions coming? You have to get it done this year. You have to convince him and Leon this year, this upcoming season, we're staying.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Moving to a new home sounds simple, but sometimes
we can't move it until when?
Life gets in the way. Whether you're downsizing or staging your house to sell, Sentinel Storage has affordable solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Goodwill is
one shopper, finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket, a deal, one donor, letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant,
learning,
trying,
building skills,
building confidence,
building a future.
One purchase, one donation,
one job, one choice.
Goodwill is
the power of one, the power of one, the power of one, the power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Moving to a new home sounds simple, but sometimes
we can't move it until when?
Life gets in the way. Whether you're downsizing or staging your house to sell, Sentinel Storage has affordable solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. It's 4:52. Rays with a home run, up 3-0 on the Blue Jays in the bottom of the first. We'll keep an eye on that one for you. Portions of this hour are presented by Commonwealth Stadium. Welcome to the jungle. It's time to come alive and get ready to be thunderstruck. These aren't just songs. They're the biggest concerts of the season. Guns N' Roses, Foo Fighters, AC/DC, and Post Malone are all coming to Commonwealth. For more information on the biggest shows at Commonwealth Stadium, go to edmonton.ca/Commonwealth. Great to have them on board here with Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. Okay, what happened, or do you want to do it at 5?
Let's
do your announcement. We'll do it at 5. Let's get to some text now.
Okay.
780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox.
Ian says, like I've said before, I don't trust anyone above the coaches that can fix this team. Fool us countless times, and we still need the same pieces, if not more. McDavid doesn't owe us blank. We are all in the hands of management and above to fix this to keep him longer than next summer, because if he isn't signed, we need to get a ransom.
Yeah, I mean, I think... I'm not saying this is what Ian means. They have had a pretty good team. I would argue the last 4 teams were all pretty good. I mean, maybe up and coming still a bit when they lost to the Avalanche. I think that team that lost to Vegas could have won the Stanley Cup, but they couldn't get past that round. And then obviously in the final the last 2 years. I know there was disappointment they didn't win the last 2 years, but it's pretty. You got to be pretty darn good to get there. So, yeah, I would say... When Ian says we're still looking for the same pieces, I would say now they're looking for some pieces that they had.
Sure.
You know? So that's fair.
Well, didn't Draisaitl point that out?
Do you trust? Yeah, well, he even brought up, didn't he bring up CC and even
CC
Desharnais, who's not
Kulak.
a great player, but they had roles that they accepted and that they did. The 55-yard line in the Nasty Chat says, you're sponsored by a building. What's next, a yard line? Well, you have to exist in order to sponsor us.
They exist. That building is busy. This comes in from an unnamed textor. Says their coach has no emotion. I think that's referring to an emotionless team being coached by an emotionless coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about that a lot.
We have, and we've heard otherwise, Reid. We've heard him quite full of emotion.
Yeah.
At times. Big Dave says, so I get what Reid is saying and where Connor and Leon are coming from, but if that's the case, does it not become the job of the coaches to tell the players to adjust both as a group and individually?
Yes.
This was a problem all year long, and the players knew it, and the coaches knew it, but neither adjusted, and that's frustrating for the fans.
Yes, I think that's fair. And that's what I'm saying, and we talked about this a lot, in the last few days. I think there's a lot of areas of deficiency or a lot of reasons why they lost, including the injuries. I don't think we can be ignorant to that. Having said that, if McDavid's healthy, if Dickinson's healthy, do they win this series? I don't know. Do they win the next round? Probably not. Yes, the coaches should adjust. That would be my biggest criticism of I guess, the staff. Did they adjust enough to how healthy the team was, how other teams were playing? I do question that. But I also would say if you're an experienced player, you should also know how to prepare yourself or know that the regular season still matters. Maybe it doesn't matter as much as a playoff game, but it is, and that's what I liked what Leon said. We have to build things so we have moments in the regular season that we have established some good habits in. That's a fair question. I guess my belief is it's a complex team game. Unless I really see something dramatic, well, I guess there's times I've said, no, it's that. Or that needs to change. Well, for the Oilers, I've said, to me, this is mostly Bowman that needs to change. But it is a little, I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's a little frustrating to hear McDavid and Draisaitl kind of admit, yeah, we sort of weren't that into it a lot of nights in the regular season. Lacking some fire, lacking some passion.
Well, and is that coming, Reid?
Is that Knoblauch's fault? I don't know. I have trouble blaming Knoblauch solely for that.
I agree. You could help it along the way. But you're telling me in the NHL, okay, it's 82 games, sure. But is this where the long seasons and all the hockey that both Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, as leaders of this team, come into play? I'm not saying that's an excuse, but is that where they're just worn down? And maybe having an actual offseason this year is just what the doctor ordered for the biggest pieces of that organization.
Draisaitl did talk about that, how the last couple of years, how quickly you had to get back into training for the new season.
Yeah. But I this about me. I have a hard time saying, well, yeah, we just couldn't get up for it.
Well, I'm like that too, and I know that I know not everybody agrees with me, and I think this is just one of those things we'll have to agree to disagree because there are two sides of it. The coach has to do something. The coach has to do something. I agree the coach has to do something, but I guess I look at it, if I have a bad day, it's not Dustin's fault.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not prepared for my show, that's not Dustin's fault. He shouldn't have to police that. You know what I mean?
Not at this level.
So that's what I'm thinking. In the NHL, you shouldn't need your coach to consistently pump you up to play. Now, tactically, yes. Can we talk about Knoblauch tactically preparing the team? Yes. Emotionally preparing the team? I'm not so sure that an NHL coach should have to spend a lot of his time on that.
No. But do you think that he did as good of a job tactically preparing this team?
No, I don't, especially in the playoffs.
Right. They just
I think
couldn't adjust.
I think there were still ways to make it more difficult for Anaheim. 83 Runner in the Nasty Chest says, people watch too many movies that have coaches do speeches that rally the team to a victory, then he has a laughing face. Well, there's probably something to that. But I'm not saying this to be like difficult or argumentative or sarcastic. Like if you believe Knoblauch should show more fire publicly, I mean, I really can't argue with you. You believe that. If you say, well, it would be better if he did, okay, I guess we don't have the evidence to that. I'm just saying, I listened to Quenneville sometimes during this series. He was pretty much just matter of fact, Mm-hmm. He was kind of a little disappointed after one of the losses, and, they just kind of kept going. I mean, there aren't a lot of Tortorella moments where he gets into it with a reporter and stuff like that overall. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Don't forget about the Tap 25 special. 50% off the entire menu at Tap 25, 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. rivercreeresort.com. You want to do anything more right now or get to him after the break?
After the break.
After the break, more of your text. Jay's going to tell you about some exciting news that he just got in his life. We are going to do our picks for the next round, guaranteed to be correct.
Oh.
And who knows where else. Oh, words of the day as well. Here comes the Coob and the 5 o'clock.
2 guys and a goalie.
Stan Bowman should re-sign Connor Ingram for sure this summer, hired or fired.
Looking at the market, and unless there's...
Not a sexy market.
You're looking for a trade for something, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want Connor Ingram. In my mind, Connor Ingram could go out on the market and easily look at a $5-6 million.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery, all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. You finished work early? Happy hour. You finished work because you accidentally hit reply all to the entire company? Big happy hour. Your boss said, great job. Happy hour. Your boss said, per my last email. Ugh, emergency happy hour. You finally closed the big deal. Happy hour. With a huge selection of ice cold drinks and great food, the Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for whatever just happened at work. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
Your home for great performances is
the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd.
9 p.m. show is sold out.
Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino.
Excitement, bet on it.
The Blue Jays are back, and Canada is excited to cheer them on in their 50th season. Whether you're swinging for the fences at the ballpark or stepping up to the plate with those spring projects at home, Sentinel Storage can help you make room for all of it. From tools and bikes to boxes and seasonal gear, Sentinel Storage gives you the extra space you need all season long. Try 4 weeks free today. Visit sentinelstorage.ca for details. Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Let's go Blue Jays!
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. It's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
The Elks have inked 5 of their draft picks from last week's CFL draft, including 10th overall pick Darian Newell and former Golden Bears Carter Kettle and Matthew Udine. Elks training camp officially opens on Sunday. 2 games tonight in the NHL. Hurricanes Flyers meet momentarily. Philly looking to bounce back from a 3-0 loss in Game 1. After that, Ducks Golden Knights meet for the first time in the postseason. Round 2, Game 1 puck drop at 7:30. William Karlsson of the Knights making a return to the lineup, playing for the first time since November 8th, being out with an lower body injury. Second round NBA playoff action. New York, Philly start things off 6 o'clock. Later on, the Timberwolves Spurs hit the court 7:30 tip-off. Minnesota's Anthony Edwards expected to return after missing the past 2 games. And in baseball, Jays Rays underway midway through the second. Toronto trailing 3-0. Eric Lauer up to the mound. With some other action live in the majors, bottom 6, Mets up 4-0 on the Rockies. Bottom 4th inning, the Red Sox and Tigers are runless. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
All right, just want to remind everybody about something that we're proud to be a part of here at Edmonton Sports Talk. That's the Cara Family Resource Center's Spring 50/50. If you go to edmontonsportstalk.com, you can click on the link, Cara Family Resource Center Spring 50/50. So, friend of the show, friend of EST, Mark Majot, also host of the MCTV podcast, is with the Cara Family Resource Center. And pretty much they help provide support for families in Northeast Edmonton. So this is something they want to do to help raise some funds for this. It's a 50/50 draw. The sale ends in 6 days, 16 hours, 53 minutes, and 4 seconds and counting. Reed.
Wow, okay.
So head over there. Let's try to get this jackpot up a little higher.
Excellent stuff. We love Mark Majot.
We love Mark Majot.
Great guy.
Do anything for him. Reed, I've got exciting news.
Okay.
First things first. I know this is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. It resonates in plenty of households across the greater Edmonton area and the outskirts too. But
I feel like outskirts has become an underused word over the years.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel as if maybe it's when I lived in Evansburg and you'd be driving in and you'd be like, well, we're on the outskirts.
Right.
I feel like living in Edmonton, I don't use the word outskirts as much. I say, well, I'm going to this neighborhood. I'm going to Southwest Edmonton. Or maybe I'll more specifically identify.
Well, how would you define the outskirts of Edmonton?
The edge of the city. Like if you're on the outskirts, you're sort of in an area where you might have an Edmonton address, but you look away from the city center and it doesn't look like it's an urban area. That's to me, that's the outskirts.
So it's not suburbs.
No, it's further out than the suburbs.
Oh, it's further out than the suburbs.
That's how I would identify it, yes.
So I technically live on the outskirts of Edmonton.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You live in the boonies.
So for those...
I should make a map. City center, suburbs, outskirts, boonies.
Well, so May the 4th, like I said, celebrated. It's a major Star Wars theme. But in our house, it's a little bit different, Reed, because I just wanted to say... a happy birthday to my youngest daughter, Faith, who turns double digits today.
Oh, happy birthday, Faith.
So we're excited. I've got to go right to flag practice after this, but we gave her a little gift this morning before school. We're going to do some fun things this evening and celebrate our little Faith. So love you, Faith. Thinking of you. And another announcement. I know my family's listening right now because I asked my wife to make sure they're listening. Okay. Earlier in the program, Mike, the Michigan fan,
good guy,
sent me an email, or we talked. He asked about the corgi races.
Yes,
that are happening over at Century Mile, July 4th. And I said, well, I don't know anything about it because if you don't know, I've got Cooper the corgi, who's also a star on this show from time to time. I'll have to bring him in again.
He's been in studio.
So I looked into it a little further, and I've got breaking news that Cooper the Corgi is officially registered for Cowboys and Corgis. It's July 4th at Century Downs Racetrack and Casino. Cooper will be racing the best of the best Corgis in Edmonton.
No way.
On the track at Century Downs.
What day?
July 4th. I believe it's Independence Day
It's
in
a
the
Saturday.
United
Yeah,
States.
it's a big day in the States.
So it's happening, Reid. Now, we're going to have to get Cooper on a little bit of a training program
I
here.
think so.
So that's the question now is what do we bring to entice Cooper? Because the dogs that win these races are the ones that are able to stay focused and just run instead of chasing after other dogs or other things that they may see.
Right.
So, I mean, do we try and entice him with a treat? Do we bring his favorite squeaky toy? I don't know, Reid. It's going to be exciting.
This is good. You're going to have to think about it.
Well, I think Cooper's going to do well. I've seen him run. He runs a lot out at the funny farm that we live at.
Yeah.
And he chases Bingo, which is a much bigger dog, faster dog. But he chases him all the time. They've got a little race that they do every morning coming back from feeding. So I think Cooper's going to be good. I mean, I'm sure every owner that puts their dog into this race thinks that their dog's going to win.
Go in thinking big.
But I actually feel like Cooper the Corgi could take this race down. Can you imagine if you can...
Oh, if he won?
What do you get? Do you get the palatial presidential suite
get
at the
ground
track?
beef for a year.
Ground beef for a year.
By the way, Rip City Step in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Coop can train with Hernan. I think he runs. I've heard that as well.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
But big day.
That's awesome, buddy.
Big day. Thanks for all the Faith birthday wishes in the chat. She's happy. She's excited. And Casino Dealer Jay, this is a good point. If he loses, make sure the other Corgis are drug tested.
Yeah, a lot of Corgis are on meth. I don't know if people do that.
It is a problem.
I was going to say Lasix, and then at the last second, I changed it to meth. Because I was like, why would you give a dog horse medicine? Or is Lasix for other things, too?
Isn't Lasix for your eyes?
No, but there is Lasix for your eyes, but...
You're thinking, what's the other one there?
Lasix is a potent diuretic commonly used in North American horse racing to prevent or reduce exercise-induced pulmonary hemorrhage or bleeding. But I think if you give too much Lasix, I think it's bad.
Well, yeah, it can bring on a heart attack.
So, but no,
Cooper's going to be running on love.
A lot. Look, I'm just saying what I've heard.
Cooper's going to be running on love and maybe some amphetamines. Maybe. We'll see.
Leon's body language says Coop and Salas both rip the darts too. Yeah. So Coop smokes, but a lot of those other Edmonton area Corgis are on meth. No, that's ask any Corgi breeder. The Corgis like meth. So if you see somebody,
you're sick.
If you see somebody buying meth in an alley, don't think, oh, that person's a drug addict. They might be getting it for their Corgi.
Yes, the Corgis of Yegwave.
Why do you think Corgis lose their teeth?
Cheaper.
Scotty Knows says all those Corgis are hopped up on DGH. Yeah, doggy growth hormone. I got the joke, Scotty, that's awesome.
Not HGH.
Yeah. You didn't know Corgis are about like meth? Why do you think there's that show Breaking Dog?
I am pleading the fifth to any discussion about Corgis and drug use, especially in the sport of Corgi racing. We'll have to maybe I'll have to acquire YouTube Trev for that day. Acquire. You boy, you there. Bring your camera and satchel. But we should make an event of it.
Well, I think you have to. Yeah.
Would you come, Reid, or you got you got plans?
I might. Do you remember if the Elks play that day?
Ooh, this could throw a wrench into things.
I'm pretty sure they do, actually.
What time though?
That is a great question. 5 p.m. against the British Columbia.
Oh, you got fine, and it's an away game, so you work at 4 that day.
Yeah, that might be problematic.
Okay. Well, maybe Trev can take Coop himself.
Well, just as it's just an honor for Cooper to be registered. Now, whether the race actually happens or not, TBD, bro.
All right.
Or maybe we can. Coop, you have the schedule right there. Is it a home game?
No, it's at BC.
Yeah,
it's at BC at 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 Mountain. That's 4:00 in Vancouver.
Or is it in Kelowna?
Oh, is that the Kelowna one?
Yeah, we're talking about that. Yeah,
that might be the. You're right. That might be the Kelowna one. There, I'll click on the get tickets, and then you got to click on another page, and then you got to click on. Okay,
it looks to be.
This is irritating. Why does the CFL website? Okay, sorry. You know what's going to happen here. You don't want me to do it.
Do it.
Why does the CFL website not say where the neutral site games are actually being contested in the schedule? I would think that that's interesting to fans because what is it? Is it Toronto? They're playing a home game in Winnipeg and in Saskatchewan, and BC is it? What is it? Playing 2 or 3 games in Kelowna?
Well, the Apple Bowl.
Is that what we're in?
That's where the Okanagan Sun play. That's where the game is.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So Edmonton at BC on July 4th. You're pretty sure that one's in Kelowna, Coop? Why would that not say that on the CFL website?
It also doesn't say it on the schedule.
No, it should say it somewhere. It should say it somewhere. It should say it somewhere. No, that's bad.
Oh, I just went through the schedule too.
Are you sure? Well, yeah, because it doesn't say anywhere about there being neutral site games.
Touchdown. Okay, touchdown Kelowna. It says it on the BC Lions site.
Is what, Saturday, July 4th?
Saturday, July 27th and Saturday, July 4th. Why they would put it, Saturday, June 27th and Saturday, July 4th.
They're back-to-back Saturdays. They have the Stamps on June 27th and the Elks on July 4th.
And on their website, it does say touchdown Kelowna.
Okay.
And the preseason game versus the Elks is in Langford, which is in Victoria.
Oh, okay. So that's
which is on the outskirts Reid of Victoria.
Yeah.
Which is actually on Vancouver Island.
That's a good point.
That's where the Victoria Island Raiders play.
Right. Anyway, that's exciting for Coop the Corgi, buddy. I appreciate it. So a lot of Oilers discussion today. Thanks for your feedback as well. Also today, the Maple Leafs having a news conference. John Chayka is the GM. Matt Sundine, don't tell me, see if I remember without looking. Matt Sundine is the senior executive advisor to hockey operations.
Of hockey operations.
Of hockey operations.
Yes, very close, though.
Okay. And then Steve Simmons of the Toronto Sun with a question for Keith Pelly, who is the boss of MLSE.
Steve Simmons, Toronto Sun, for Keith. You talk about the due diligence that you did on John prior to hiring him and now hiring him. In the past, say, 3 to 4 days, I have been in contact with about 20 people who work in the National Hockey League, many of whom are prominent names that we would all know. And of the 20 people I spoke to, one was supportive of John's hiring, and the other 19 thought it was a sham, to be perfectly honest. Words were used like con artist, liar, salesman. How did you come to a different conclusion than I was able to come to in a very short time?
I must have talked to different people.
That's it? Because the hockey world today is astounded by this announcement.
Okay.
And your response to that?
Is we've conducted due diligence, and it was deep due diligence. It was a thorough process, and I'm quite happy with where we've landed.
Okay, well, if it was deep due diligence, then what is Steve Simmons even asking?
Well, I did think it was kind of interesting that and like I said, Steve Simmons, love him. He's been around a long time. He's been on this show. But to then say the hockey world is astounded. Is the hockey world astounded?
Well, I think he probably meant the people who also work in front offices. I don't necessarily think he thought some season ticket holder for the Nashville Predators.
Right. It's just, it's one of these, this Toronto thing.
Right.
Wow. This must outrage everyone. The world is
Right.
outraged.
The world is outraged, yes.
Well, no, it's Monday in Edmonton, and it's just the story of this whole hiring now is that tweet or that quote
is that question
from Steve
yes.
Simmons.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Is it 2-0 Flyers 4 minutes into the game?
Yeah, it is. Jamie
5
Draisaitl,
minutes
Sean
into
Couturier.
4:41. Okay.
Yeah.
That's shocking. Well, good for Philadelphia if they've had the puck, which they didn't have a lot in game one. We have the Blue Jays game here on the TV, but Coop's going to have a full scoreboard update. Yeah, we talked a little bit about this earlier. I mean, that's a very blunt question by Steve Simmons. I mean, good for him for checking into this guy's perceived credibility, for sure. When I saw the name come up yesterday, I was kind of surprised. It's sort of been a bit of a, well, it hasn't been great in Leafland lately, has it?
No.
And some things that have been said and how some things have been handled. But I mean, it's like Rip City Step. I know what you're saying. He says, always good when the reporter becomes the story, right? But yeah, it's not supposed to be that way. Like I don't go ask questions after an Oilers game or whenever else I do things saying, okay, I got to make sure I get noticed. I think if I have a good question or two to ask, I think I got to get the question in there. But I don't know if Steve was trying to do that. I think he just thought, I think that Steve Simmons thought he was asking a question that needed to be asked. And he just happened to ask it so bluntly, and it was so unusual that, yes, he has become a story. I don't think that was his intention. I mean, when Matheson and Draisaitl had the pissy exchange, Matheson came on Inside Sports with me that night, and I was kind of like, "You're not supposed to be the story, man." Like, and he's like, "No, I am, and I won't be the story tomorrow. I will write my article and not include that I was the one he was going back at." But having said that, it was probably a fair topic to get a remark on from Pelly. Like, the basic question is, why are you hiring a guy with a crappy reputation? That's the heart of the question. Would you agree or disagree? If you strip away all that other stuff, that's what he's saying, which I think is a relevant question.
It is, but okay, if that question was asked in Edmonton, let's say it was asked by a certain reporter, and the word sham and the word used car, or what did he say?
He said that he's a liar.
Con artist,
liar,
salesman. Yeah.
Or, you know, and by the way, as a former furniture salesman, I take.
What's wrong with being a salesperson?
Yeah. You know what's wrong with it is he can't do it. So and actually,
I don't think
Reid,
John Jacob could sell me a couch.
No, but Reid, if you
or the associated love seat,
isn't that the perfect guy you want in your front office? Is a con artist and is a salesman, so he can try and get the most out of deals coming down the pipe. I mean, I say that it would somewhat tongue in cheek, but I just like a salesman. That's just salesmen forever have been fighting this uphill battle of absolute shady.
But they're shady. But they're not.
They're not. They're humans.
They want to sell.
They have corgis. They need to sell furniture in order to provide for their family. What's shady about that?
Right.
So I'm just saying, if that was asked in this market, it would be deemed offside. Now, I mean, there is a pretty shoddy past with John Jacob.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
One that had him just pull the chute and leave the Arizona Coyotes, right before the playoffs started? In COVID times?
Right.
When it was in the bubble in Edmonton? He just up and left. So, yeah, I mean, Reid, once again, I want to make it clear. Aside from tarnishing the name of salespeople, I don't have a problem with a direct question like that. Now, you wouldn't ask that question, though.
I wouldn't ask it that way.
That way. Sorry. Let me say that.
I might say something like John left his previous job under unusual some circumstances. He was criticized for it. You know, it seems to me he doesn't have as high a reputation as perhaps some other candidates. Why did you still hire him?
Right.
Probably what I would have said. And maybe it would have got the same answer. I mean, Pelly didn't really want to answer it, and then he just was like, I did deep due diligence.
I like how he had to say deep.
Deep due diligence, yes.
As if due diligence wasn't enough of a a word or statement. Deep due diligence.
It's like diligence. Honey, when you go out without me, do you flirt with other women? Not only do I not flirt with other women, I extremely don't flirt with other women.
Yeah, exactly. As per Elliot Friedman, he says this is the first time in the playoffs that the Carolina Hurricanes have trailed.
Yeah, and by 2 goals.
Down 2-0. He said it was 4 minutes and 41 seconds in.
780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Don't forget about the River Cree mobile app. Free to download. Get exclusive offers and promotions. Get show tickets. Make reservations for hotel rooms and restaurants. It's safe, secure, and it's easy to use. 780-218-9999. Yeah, 7 minutes into the first now. Already 2-0 for Philly. Keep posting in the nasty chat. Slow thumbs today. Maybe people are still a little de-energized by the Oilers being eliminated and hearing Leon and Connor's comments from Saturday. We need 7 thumbs to get to 100. Okay, so if you haven't clicked the thumbs up on YouTube, please do so. Once you click the thumbs up, then please click the share button.
Do you believe in life after love?
And send the show linked off to other people via email or text and get them involved as well. We're going to make our guaranteed to be correct round 2 predictions. Now, yes, round 2 has already started, but the 3 of us texted each other before the series that have started had begun. So we're all on the up and up there. We'll see how we did in the first round. Words of the day coming up as well. Zach Kubish, take it away, sir.
Game 2, round 2 between the Flyers and Hurricanes. 2-0 for Philadelphia 8 minutes into the game. They're looking to bounce back from a 3-0 loss in Game 1 of that series. At 7:30, the Ducks hit the ice in Vegas against the Golden Knights. Game 1 of their series. First time they're meeting in the playoffs. William Karlsson to return. Back in the lineup for Vegas. He's been out since November 8th with a lower body injury. Closer to home, the Elks have signed 5 players from last week's CFL draft, including 10th overall pick Darren Newell and former Golden Bears Carter Kettle and Matthew Udine. Elks training camp officially opens on Sunday. The second round of NBA playoffs begins tonight. New York, Philly starting things off 6 o'clock. Later on, the Timberwolves and Spurs hit the court 7:30 with Minnesota's Anthony Edwards expected to return. He's missed the past 2 games. And over in baseball live now, top of the 4th. It's the Jays down 3-1 to the Rays in the first of 3 total games. And they're set. Miles Straw at bat. 1 out for the Jays. Bases empty. Elsewhere in the majors, bottom 7th, 4-2 lead for the Mets over the Rockies. The Red Sox Tigers still without a run. Top of the 6th and bottom 3rd. The Marlins are down 1-0 to the Phillies. This sports update is brought to you by the Ranch Golf Club. The Ranch Golf Club delivers premier conditions, top-notch service, and unmatched value every round. It's why they're Alberta's top choice for corporate golf events. Visit theranchgolf.com today to find out more. More NHL talk up next here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
One shopper. Finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket. A deal. One donor. Letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant.
Learning.
Trying.
Building skills.
Building confidence.
Building a future.
One purchase. One donation.
One job. One choice.
Goodwill is
The power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
The Oil Stream.
The contrast and messaging from Kris Knoblauch compared to the messaging from Stan Bowman, and then you get Leon and Connor and their comments, and you mix that all together, and I was like, what did we say the day Paul Coffey was brought back?
That it looked dysfunctional.
And I didn't think it would come to light this way.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $430,000 on Desert Fantasy? Think about the rec room you could build with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province. There has never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery. All in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
The Canadian Brewhouse is not a quiet place to watch the game. We're a goal horn blaring, tankard raising, stranger hugging, lose your voice kind of a place. No inside voices, no empty seats, no bad angles. Just playoff hockey, the way it's supposed to feel. With your friends, the ones you brought and the ones you just met. If you want quiet, stay home. If you want to feel it, book your spot now in the loudest room in the city. This is our house, the Canadian Brewhouse.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. Nick Ehlers has just scored for the Carolina Hurricanes, just past the halfway point of the first period. So now 2-1 Philadelphia leading Carolina. Just watching the replay here. Canes working around a little bit. Taylor Hall on the ice again, by the way. Oh, where's the actual goal here? What a one-timer. Just blasted it off Vladar's arm and in. So 2-1 Philly, 9.5 minutes left in the first period. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and sports betting. With the Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up at playalberta.ca. Now, I know your bet is no longer live, but what are we looking for tonight for Jay's Play of the Day to be a winner?
Well, Carolina's got a little bit of work to do. I had Carolina minus 1.5 and Anaheim plus 1.5. So Carolina, if they can hold off here and take this game back, maybe they can dominate the rest of the game. We'll see. I was boosted to plus 288.
Oh, nice. All right. We need 2 thumbs to get to 100 on YouTube, and subscribe to the Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel if you have not done so already. Yeah, our bare minimum is to get to 100 every show. So I don't know. People are a little, I don't know. Maybe they're a little like, oh, I don't want a thumb. I don't want a thumb. Orders are out.
It's okay.
Yeah. Life goes on, though.
Life must go on, Reid. It must.
Life must indeed go on.
I know we got our predictions to do, but the NHL draft lottery goes tomorrow.
What time is it at again?
I believe it starts
during
at
the
5
show.
our time.
Oh, this is incredible.
So we're going to be
all over.
ready and amped to see what kind of stale accountant they have on the screen. Well, Reid, you know what it is? It's a yearly tradition that's now become an annual custom on the Reid Wilkins Show. Okay, so Vancouver has the highest odds of 18.5%.
Right.
Chicago, 13.5%.
That's to win the draft lottery.
To win
right?
the draft lottery.
So they have slightly higher odds to keep the number 1 pick.
That's right.
Okay.
New York Rangers, 11.5%. Flames, 9.5%. Leafs, Kraken, Jets, Panthers, and San Jose Sharks down at 5%. Who's the team that would bring the biggest buzz if they somehow climbed the ladder and won the draft lottery for the first overall pick?
Panthers?
Would it be Florida?
We're, I don't know. No, Leafs maybe. How far down are the Leafs?
Leafs have the fifth.
Oh, yeah, Leafs, I think.
Best odds.
Yeah, if they got McKenna.
Kind of have a feeling. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that that Calgary, I don't know, has a chance.
Okay. Well, they all have a chance.
Well, of course they do. I just want to see all the balls come out in those 4 combinations. I mean, that's riveting.
Yeah, it really is.
Everybody
That's amazing.
wondering
stuff.
what the heck is going on here. But exciting. We'll be broadcasting it and bringing you up to date live.
780-218-9999 River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We are over 100 thumbs on YouTube. Thank you, Paul.
Have a good day.
Oh, do the Leafs still have their pick? Rip City Step says they don't. So can the Leafs not get it? I got to be honest with you. I'm not brushed up on the draft lottery stuff. That's my bad.
Everything I've seen says they do, but who knows? Should we run a simulator?
Yeah, go ahead. Here, I'll check who has whose pick, and you can simulate the draft lottery. Guaranteed to be correct.
Simulate lottery. Look what comes first.
Leafs?
Florida Panthers.
Florida Panthers.
It must be that.
Well, the Panthers can't get theirs either. The Panthers is Chicago's. No, I don't see anything about the Leafs.
It says Boston if pick 6 to 7 for the Leafs. Okay, I'm going to run another simulation here.
Really? I don't.
Vancouver, San Jose, Chicago. San Jose, Nashville, Vancouver. You can just keep simulating.
Right. So what is it? It's Boston gets the Leafs pick if what happens?
If the pick happens to be 6th or 7th, then Boston gets
unresolved conditional picks. Boston will receive a first-round pick in 2026 if Toronto's first-round pick in 2026 is outside of the top 5.
Okay, outside of the top 5.
Okay.
Right, because I just
So
ran a simulator.
The Leafs have it protected within the top 5. Okay.
Oh, there. I've ran this simulation about 15 times. It's the first time Toronto's come up first.
So they would keep it in that case. Mm-hmm. Right. All right. 780-218-9999. Portions of this hour, by the way, presented by Lamley's, built for the job, made with quality craftsmanship and designed for job protection with cowboy-worthy durability. Lamley's workwear combines safety with all-day comfort, featuring brands like Ariat Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed to withstand tough conditions and deliver performance across every job site. Visit lamleys.com/work to see how Lamleys can make your workday better.
LAMMLES.
All right. Guaranteed to be correct round 2 predictions. So in the first round, do you have yours, Jay? Let's go through them. I took...
Unfortunately, I do, Reid.
Buffalo over Boston and in 6. So I also got the correct number of games.
I had Buffalo over Boston in 5.
Okay. So the tiebreaker will be the correct number of games if needed at any point. So I'll give myself a little extra check. Montreal over Tampa Bay in 7 is what I had.
Nice. I had Tampa Bay over Montreal in 6.
Okay. I went for the upset, Ottawa over Carolina in 6. That's wrong.
I had Carolina in 7.
Okay. So you got one there. I had Philadelphia over Pittsburgh in 5. They took it in 6.
I had Philadelphia over Pittsburgh in 6. But because I crossed it off because we were too similar. So I said, the one I feel not the best about, I think that could go either way. So I switched to Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. Colorado over the LA Kings, I had in 5. They swept them.
Yeah, as did I in 5.
I actually had Dallas beating Minnesota in 6, so that was wrong.
As did I.
I had Vegas over Utah in 6, so I got the correct number of games there as well.
How many correct have you
I had
gotten?
3 exactly correct.
Wow, that's pretty good. I think that was like, I think I had 2 or 3 last year, so you're looking really good. I had Utah in 7.
And I had the Oilers over Anaheim in 6, so obviously wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Were the Oilers the only team that won game 1 that lost the series? I thought I heard someone say. Let's see. Buffalo won game 1, Canadians, Carolina, Philly, Colorado. Did Minnesota take game one against Dallas? I think they did.
They did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, so I went 5-3. Slightly better than a coin flip. All right, and Koob, what did you do?
Western, I picked 3 out of the 4 total picks, so I went Oilers over Ducks in 6.
Okay, just give us your score, please.
Yeah, okay. I went 3 for 4 on my picks out West, and then Eastern just 1 for 4.
So 4 out of 8.
Yes.
Okay.
50%.
So you're in second place. You are a coin flip Koob. All right. What series you want to do first, buddy?
There's my notes. Right here. Well, let's start out east. Carolina, Philadelphia. I have Carolina in 5. And like I said, we texted.
We did this one Saturday afternoon. We all picked it.
Prior to. In fact, at the end of the show on Friday, I think you made your pick. Didn't you say Carolina in 6?
I might have, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because you'd gone already.
Yeah. But I was listening, Reid, as always.
As you should.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm taking Carolina as well. I'm taking them in 6 games. I don't know. I just feel it's close at this time of year. Philadelphia, still a pretty good team. Vladar has been playing well in net. I was going to take Carolina in 5, but I'll give Philly 2 games. They obviously are leading tonight, so I have Carolina in 6.
I'm going with Carolina in 6.
Okay. Can we save the other Eastern series? Come on, man. That's the one.
Sure.
That's the one.
Okay.
That's the one we're excited about.
Is it?
Adams Division matchup, Canadian Sabres. Who's excited for an Adams Division matchup?
Yeah, I mean, if it's the same brand of hockey as we saw in round 1 with Tampa Bay,
let's save
that's
that
great.
one.
Let's save it. Okay. Colorado, Minnesota.
All right. I'm taking Minnesota. I know they're already down in the series. Again, we all texted each other our picks before game 1 yesterday. I think Colorado's very good. I think Minnesota is very good. So I just thought Colorado could be had, and they still could. I mean, Quinn Hughes is excellent. I would think Wallstedt or whoever they put in net's going to bounce back with a better game. So I took Minnesota in 6.
Koob?
I took Minnesota in 7 for similar reasons there. I think if there's any team that can push this year's Avalanche, it would be the Wild. And why not? They're going to push them to their limit.
I actually think that I don't know. I thought Colorado would want to face Minnesota as opposed to Dallas. Just their style of play. I think look at last night's game. I mean, that was back and forth. I think Minnesota gave everything they had. And look at what Colorado was still able to do. I mean, that was just offense and coming from all parts of the ice for Colorado. What did they have? Reid, what was it? 15 goals by 14 different players in that game. I mean, there's so much action, offensive action in that. I just don't know if Minnesota can stay up and keep up to Colorado. So I have Colorado in 7, though. Like, I do think this is going to be a series.
Yeah. Okay.
Vegas, Anaheim. Look, I got to make up some points here. I got to make up some room. I just figured Vegas is probably the favorite. Well, they are the favorite, but Anaheim's riding some highs. We've seen that in this market before with the Oilers going into places where they had no reason to belong there. So I have Anaheim in 7.
You're taking Anaheim in 7.
You're darn tootin'.
How come?
Whacking right.
Just because?
I just said I need to make up points. I know you're going to take Vegas.
Yes, I am.
You're probably, yeah. What are you going to do?
Well, I considered taking Vegas in 4, but I'm like, have I overly convinced myself of how lousy the Oilers are, and that Anaheim was just only had to be a step above lousy to beat them? I think Anaheim's going to be in much tougher against Vegas. I think Vegas is going to play heavier. I think they're going to check them harder. I think they're going to force Dostal to play better and face more shots than he did against the Oilers. But I do think Anaheim played well. They have a lot of legitimately good players. I mean, Lacombe, Carlson, a bunch of other guys. So I think they're going to put up a strong fight. I just don't think they'll have enough. I'm taking Vegas over Anaheim in 6.
I'm also taking Vegas over Anaheim in 6 games. Anaheim, their power play is going to be at 50% the entire playoffs. So over 93% for Vegas on the penalty kill. 3rd in the NHL right now in their series there against the Mammoth.
You said Mini in 6?
Mini?
Or sorry, Vegas in 6?
Vegas in 6.
And Reid, you have Vegas?
I have Vegas at 6.
Sorry, I wasn't writing this down. You both took Mini, but
Yeah,
was
well,
it both in
I'm
6?
saving my own. Just make sure you have your own.
Well, I'm keeping tabs on you, bro.
Okay. I have Minnesota in 6.
And you said in 7, though,
Yep.
right? Okay. Now the big one. Montreal, Buffalo. I have my hands are tied.
How about this
So
from
are you,
Derek?
Reid.
How about this from Derek? Vegas can't match Anaheim's speed and forecheck will destroy Knights. Ducks in 6. How about that?
We'll find out, I
We're going to
guess.
find out.
Find out later tonight how things are looking in that series.
Oh, yeah. Game 1's tonight already.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What?
Who's going first for this one? Coob, you're going first. Montreal, Buffalo.
Oh, well, I'm not just saying this to get on the good side of Dustin Nielsen, but I'm going to say the Montreal Canadiens in 7 games against the Buffalo Sabres. Seeing them try and dismantle the Lightning. I mean, they had some lucky things happen, especially in Game 7 against Tampa Bay, but the way that they play, the way that they just go hard, and their entire lineup is just putting their body on the line and just giving it their all, the way Montreal is playing, I feel like they can go on a run here, and being the last Canadian team left, why not root for them?
Well, like I said, my hands are tied because I took Buffalo to win the whole dang thing. Now, my thought is, okay, Buffalo finished their series off rather quickly. Montreal was in a dogfight against Tampa Bay. What was it? Yesterday, there was 28 minutes without a registered shot by Montreal at one point in that game.
The entire second period.
Yeah. I wonder what's left in the tank. Now, I wonder that also because I am heavily biased here. And I don't give a rip who Dustin cheers for. So, I'm taking Buffalo in 6.
I picked the Canadiens to win the Stanley Cup before the playoffs. I think Dobas is playing excellent. They've proven they can get outshot and hang in there and still win. They work hard for their goals. They get the puck to the net. They fight for loose pucks at both ends of the ice. I'm taking the Canadiens in 6 to continue the magic.
Okay.
Why not?
Now, I will say this. I do give a rip what Dustin thinks because I know him and Marshall, I think both cheer for Montreal. And it would be cool to have a Canadian team still in it. But like I said, I'm a man of my principles, Reid, scruples. So I'm taking Buffalo.
All right. We're in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Afternoons just got a serious upgrade at the Canadian Brewhouse. Happy hour runs Monday to Saturday, 2 to 6 p.m. Deals start at $3.99. Make the smart move and head to the Canadian Brewhouse. Those were our guaranteed to be correct second round predictions. All right. Words of the day to wrap it up next.
Just wrapping up the first period, Flyers, Hurricanes, Game 2, Round 2, Philly up 2-1. Started with a 2-0 lead for them. In about the first 5 minutes of play, Carolina getting on the board. Nikolai Ehlers, a carryover power play, 105 man advantage, entering the second frame of play there for Carolina, who lead 1-0 in the series. 7:30 puck drop, Ducks at Golden Knights, Game 1, Round 2. William Karlsson returning to Vegas' lineup for the first time since November 8th. He's been out with a lower body injury. And the Elks, they've signed 5 of their draft picks from last week's CFL draft, including 10th overall pick Darian Newell and former Golden Bears Carter Kettle and Matthew Udine. Elks training camp officially opens on Sunday. To the hardwoods, second round NBA playoff action begins. New York and Philly start things off 6 o'clock. Later on, the Timberwolves Spurs hit the court at 7:30. Minnesota's Anthony Edwards expected to return after missing the past 2 games. And in baseball right now, the Jays in action against the Rays midway through the 5th, down 3-1. With the Rays up to bat. Elsewhere in the majors, top of the 9th, 4-2 game in favor of the Mets against the Rockies. End of the 6th, it's the Tigers up 2-0 on the Red Sox. And top of the 3rd, Yankees leading 2-0 on the Orioles. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show after the break here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
EST Afternoons.
The extension hasn't even kicked in. Yes, it's fair to talk about it a year from now, depending on how the Oilers do next year. And it's definitely fair to talk about it from 2 years from now. But stop with this summer. If you want clicks, just tell us you want clicks and we'll click. Oh, well, what if McDavid? And then double down and say, well, Draisaitl can want to leave in a couple of years too. Like, what are we talking about? McDavid's going to play next year. Beyond that, I don't know.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Let's wrap her up with your words of the day for the Edmonton Public Library. Your free EPL card can do more than you might expect, from books, movies, and video games to digital resources, creative spaces, and learning opportunities. There's something for everyone across Edmonton. Sign up online at epl.ca/signup or visit any of EPL's 21 locations to get started today.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Okay, this is Words of the Day for EPL.ca. The words today have been supplied by a listener, Abutski.
Uh-oh.
Again, this is edition number 19, Reid. First word of the day, plebeian. Plebeian. This is an adjective, and it's a trickier one to spell than you think. Plebeian.
Well, I don't know. I'm just going to go with how I think it's spelled.
Do it.
Plebian. E-A-N?
Plebeian.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is an adjective.
Is this to be of the common man?
I don't think so.
Okay. I need a sentence then.
The couple's crude manner makes them seem more plebeian than they actually are.
Uneducated?
Describing something common, unrefined, or vulgar.
Okay.
Often implying low social status.
Okay. That's... Yeah. At first I said of a lower class.
You said the common man.
Oh, okay.
That's at least the way I interpret it. If you said lower class, I mean I'm here for you.
All right.
Second word of the day. Slubber. This is a verb, slubber.
Well, I'll just go with the obvious spelling. Slubber. Slubber. Is this moisture found under rocks?
Mm-hmm. Good guess.
That's what it sounds like.
You want it in a sentence?
Yeah.
Seeing that you have plenty of time to do the job properly, there's no need to slubber this time.
To make mistakes by working too quickly?
The definition, is to perform hastily or carelessly. So hastily and too quickly, half of a half?
Sure.
0.25. Well, Reid,
James Barrels on my side for once.
No.
Says it does have to do with the common man if you look at how it was used historically. Hey? Thank you, James.
Well, do we need to have a recount here?
No, it's fine. No, we're good. What did I get? 1.25?
1.25.
1.25. Not a great start. I'll do better later this week.
Yeah.
All right. The live stream resumes at 6 a.m. tomorrow with the Nielsen Show. That show is also on 95.7 Cruise FM. We're back at 3 o'clock. On behalf of Zachary Kubish and Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great evening.